Edgar Brown Stadium in Pasco, SWX is proud to present the Washington High School Football Playoffs. Today in Pasco, it's the rematch we've been waiting for all season. Undefeated Gonzaga Prep and the number 6 Richland Bombers. Glad you could join us for this Final Four matchup. Thanks for taking time out of your Thanksgiving weekend with our guest commentator, head coach of the Kamiakin Braves, Scott Bigland. I'm Greg Talbot. And Coach, Gonzaga Prep is undefeated. Richland would be undefeated if they hadn't lost in Week 1 to Gonzaga Prep. So it's the rematch we've been waiting for. What do we expect today?
I think you're going to see two good teams, two of the top teams in the state playing, and I think you're going to see a war on your hands, and it, hopefully is a good battle out there.
It's going to be an interesting game, that's for sure. Let's take a look at this. Like we said in Week 1, these teams did play each other. Gonzaga Prep came out on top. It was a couple of field goals, some real defense, only one offensive touchdown between the two teams. Final score ended up being 13-10 Gonzaga Prep over Richland. But these teams are so good, it's hard to beat a team twice, right, Coach?
Oh, absolutely. I had a chance to watch that game early on in the season, and Richland's improvement from Week 1 to now is big time. So I think they're going to come out. They're going to do some good things. I know G Prep's probably worked on some things, and again, we're going to see a good ball game.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at our players to watch. Now, for Gonzaga Prep, the guy you have to watch is number 89. His name is Evan Weaver, two-way player. He's one of the best defensive players in the Greater Spokane League. Also one of their running backs. He's going to play at Cal next season.
Yeah, he's a good one. I got to watch him on film as well. He kind of reminds me of Lakota Wills out there. He's big, he's strong. He makes a difference out there for Gonzaga Prep.
Well, speaking of Lakota Wills, you just mentioned pretty much every week this season on SWX, where we've had Richland on, we have made Lakota Wills our player to watch, but we're actually changing that pattern today because of the fact that Gonzaga Prep's defensive line is thought to be maybe the best in the state. People are saying Richland needs to beat Gonzaga Prep through the air, in which case it's on their quarterback, Paxton Stevens.
Yeah, he's the real deal. He was our first team all-conference quarterback for a reason. He's got respect by a lot of the coaches. His improvement from Week 1 to now is tremendous. So I think he's going to come out here and do some good things for Richland.
Really quick, you coached against him for Kamiakin in Week 7. How do you stop Paxton?
It's going to be tough. He does a really good job with his zone read. The coaching staff over there with Jelinek and Moore do a good job of putting him in the right spot. So it's going to be Gonzaga's going to have their hands full, but they got the number 1 defense over in the GSL as well. So it should be a good game.
Winner of the game moves on to the Tacoma Dome for the state championship. It's all coming up next between Richland and G Prep on SWX. And it looks like we had a little bit of a miscommunication on the field between the players kicking off and coming back from our commercial break. Anyways, fans, high school football on SWX is brought to you by Irrigation Specialists, a Lindsay company, offering tough and dependable Zematic water management systems, the choice for the world's irrigators for over 50 years. Where every crop and drop counts, you can rely on Irrigation Specialists in Pasco, Grandview, Othello, and Hermiston, a Lindsay company. Anyways, welcome back to Edgar Brown Stadium for this 4A semifinal matchup between the Richland Bombers and Kamiakin Braves. Greg Talbot and Scott Bigland on hand. Coach, Richland lost Week 1 to Gonzaga Prep. Hard to beat a team twice, right?
Absolutely. I know they're both prepared, and both these teams are ready to go, and let's get on with the semifinal action.
And it looks like the wind knocked the ball over briefly there, so we'll try this for a third time.
Look out for Griffey March. He was our return specialist of the year in our conference.
He certainly was. Back to receive for the Bombers. And the 4A semifinals are underway. A high kick to the near side for Richland. And they'll receive it at the 20. That is in and out of the hands of Kyle Kirby. Gonzaga Prep's jumping up and down like they fell on it, and I think they did. Oh, my.
Yeah, I don't blame Gonzaga Prep for not wanting to kick it to Griffey March, so they're going to have to make an adjustment to that.
They did not. Good news for the Richland Bombers. So out comes their offense. Let's take a look at their impact players. See Paxton Stevens, the quarterback and coach. You had to coach against this Richland Bomber offense. What are they best at?
They do a good job both disguising the run and throws.
On 1st and 10, that's Lakota Wills. One of their 3 running backs they operate in this system got about 2 yards. Continue, Coach.
Yeah, their O-line does a good job firing off the line, making it look like a run, and it gets those linebackers to step up, and they take advantage of that.
You are going to see Lakota Wills see his name called a lot today. You see him there, number 45. You also see a great receiver in Griffey March. Here they come on 2nd down and 8 yards. Throws over the middle. That is to Griffey Marks. The ball skips and it's down and incomplete, bringing up 3rd and long for the first time today.
That's exactly what we're talking about. They did a good job with that zone read, and he just misfired on his throw.
So an incompletion for Paxton Stevens, something that has not been all that common this season. Paxton under center for Richland, first-team all-conference quarterback, led the league in completions and total yards. 56% passer this season. And here they come on 3rd down and long. Rolling out. Ball is dropped. That looked like that was a fumble. Still loose. Richland fell on it. That's going to be a safety, it looks like. And it is an early 2-point lead for Gonzaga Prep. That's a bad break for the Bombers.
Absolutely. That was Evan Weaver again. He's going to be a force to handle, so they're going to have to make adjustments on him.
Well, that is a bad start for the Richland Bombers if there ever was one. Let's take a look at this one more time. You see Paxton decided not to roll out right. Saw Weaver coming, knocked it loose, and the Bullpups just fell on this in the end zone. Now they have an early 2 points. Pardon me, the Bombers fell on it. So 2 points for G Prep. That the kind of start you were expecting, Coach?
Not at all, but a little early nerves. I look for these guys to bounce back and let their defense come out and set the tone.
So there you see Mike Neidhold talking to his team. Certainly a guy that has the ability to calm the nerves. You've known him for a long time, Coach.
Oh, he's a great man, and I know he's probably telling those guys we need it more than 2 to win this game anyway. So they just got to settle down and play their game.
And that is Evan Weaver. We talked about him at the top of the broadcast in case you weren't with us. Not only is he a standout on defense, he's actually one of their 2 running backs in the G Prep offense as well. He's going to play next year for the California Golden Bears. And creating that immediate kind of play, you can see why they want him.
Oh, absolutely. I'd take him right now as well.
So after the safety, Richland to kick it away. And here comes G Prep. Devin Culp and Sam Lockett back to return. And up to the 49-yard line across the 50. So good field position for this Gonzaga Prep team. You'll see him led out by Liam Bell. 47% passer this season. He'll be under center, and they run with 2 different running backs. You see Mason Please in both him and Evan Weaver, who just made that great play on defense, Coach.
Yeah, this offense is going to be really difficult to maintain. They got to play their responsibilities, which Richland does a great job of. So I'm looking forward to this challenge that they're seeing here.
This is a man in motion. That's Ryan Gross, one of their wide receivers. He's on the sideline, and he's got a first down as he bounces to the outside.
Yeah, some great edge blocking out there by Gonzaga. Richland's got to learn to set that edge, and things will happen for him.
So the Gonzaga Prep offense does not pass very much. It's either handoffs to Please or Weaver. You see some reverse. They often run in option. They've been running the ball more and more as the season has gone along. New 1st and 10. This is a handoff straight up the middle. That is Mason Please, and it looks like he got up to the 35-yard line, gain of about 2 yards. So let's go ahead and take a look at these Gonzaga Prep impact players. We talked about Liam Bell, the quarterback, and then the 2 running back system between Please and Weaver, and then Nick Johnson. He's their big over-the-top threat, Coach.
Yeah, he's got some good speed and good hands. If you just key in on the run, they're going to hurt you with the pass.
Looking at 2nd down and 6. Ball is loose. That was out of the hands of Mason Please, and it looks like the Bombers fell on it. And they did, and they get it right back.
Absolutely. That's exactly what Richland needed right there. The defense stepped up, setting the tone, and now let's get their offense on track.
So let's see after the Richland Bombers gave up an early safety. That just knocked it right out there, Coach.
That was a great play right there.
So here comes Richland. They do get good field position. They'll take it from their own 32-yard line. Going up against this G Prep defense, thought to have the best up front forward defensive line in the state of Washington. And this is a handoff to Lakota Wills, their big boy. He'll take it to the outside. Looks like he got 5 yards out of it. And like we said, you're going to hear Lakota's name a lot today. He was voted the Mid-Columbia Conference MVP, Coach, and you can see why. 13 touchdowns, 725 yards.
Absolutely. If they would have gave him the ball a lot more, I'm sure he would have had a lot more yards rushing. But they do a good job mixing in their running backs and keeping him fresh, both offensively and defensively.
So there's the rest of the impact players, including the quarterback, Paxton Stevens, and Kyle Whitby will come in off the sideline shortly to run, probably. Second down at about 5 yards. Paxton comes to the near side. Complete pass to Rhett Levin, and he's into G-Prep territory down to the 47, and that'll move the chains.
Yeah, they just got so many weapons to throw to. They were very tough to defend because you can't just key on one guy. But Paxton does a great job delivering this pass.
Now, Coach, you were saying at the beginning of the game that you don't think the weather, which was 20 degrees about an hour ago, you don't think that's going to impact Paxton too much.
No, he's a phenomenal quarterback. He's going to do some great things. And, right now his blood's going, his adrenaline's rushing, so I don't think he feels any cold right now.
New 1st and 10 for the Bombers. G-Prep with a shift up front. Another bad snap. And Paxton's able to fall on it, though. He's behind the 40. That is going to bring up second down and more than 20 yards.
Yeah, great job covering it up, though, and try not to make any more damage happen.
So maybe some early nerves, maybe obviously the cold weather, like we said, 20 degrees about an hour ago, probably makes it hard to snap the ball, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's things that you don't think about. You think about the quarterback throwing, you don't think about the center snapping, so he's got to get that worked out.
3 receivers coming out here for Richland on second down and 19 yards. Stevens to the air. Rolls out, goes far side, goes to Levin for the second straight time, but he's only got about 3 yards. That's going to bring up third down and a mile.
Yeah, he just trying to get a little bit back and hopefully set him up for a better third down conversion, but G-Prep with a nice job keeping him to a minimum.
So there you see Levin. He's been their big midfield threat this season. 33 receptions, 400 yards, but only 1 touchdown. They like to go to him during the drive, maybe not for the big touchdown score.
Yeah, he caught a lot of great passes against us. Didn't have many touchdown catches, but he definitely is a force out there.
Third down and a country mile for the Bombers. Stevens has some time. He's going deep, and he overthrew that one. He was looking for Ryan Wolski. Threw out of bounds, though. That'll bring up fourth.
Yeah, Paxton throws a really nice deep ball. That one just happened to settle on him a little bit.
So the Bombers are about to bring out their punt unit for the first time today. In case you're just joining us, on the very first drive, Richland received on what was a pretty early play. It was a bad snap into the end zone and ended up being a safety. So Gonzaga Prep with the early lead. And back to receive on the punt for G-Prep is Ryan Gross. Spiral line drive kick. And about the 20-yard line is where they touched at first, so not bad field position for the Bullpups. So we'll see him. We saw him very briefly, Coach. They had a pretty short first drive. Richland did some pretty good things there.
Oh, absolutely. They do a good job playing fundamental football, and that's what it's going to take to contain this offense of G-Preps.
So once again, we see Liam Bell coming out as the quarterback. He's a 6-foot senior. 47% passer this year, 13 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. This is a handoff up the middle again to Please. He fumbled it on the last drive, and he skirts his way up to the 25, got about 3 yards out of it.
Gonzaga Prep has some huge splits, just like WSU has on their O-line.
Now, what's interesting about Mason Please, who just got the carry, he has good numbers. 7 touchdowns, 900 yards this year, as you see Bell. But Please, the running back, he missed 3 weeks of the regular season with an emergency appendectomy. He diagnosed himself, believe it or not.
That's a tough kid, man, if he's back out here playing already.
And this is the QB, Liam Bell. He keeps it on play action just shy of the 30-yard line. That's going to bring up third down at about 2 yards. Now, what's interesting about Liam Bell, quarterback, again, week 1, Coach, the teams are just kind of finding themselves. Bell only threw for 70 yards against this Richland defense. And there's the carry, and it looks like that's going to be a first down across the 31 for Mason Please and the Gonzaga Prep Bullpups.
Yeah, I definitely think Gonzaga is going to try to establish the line of scrimmage by running the ball. They want to do what they do, and it looks like they're doing a good job of it so far.
They got some big boys up there at G-Prep, not only the D-line but the O-line, thought to be one of the better ones in the Greater Spokane League this year as well. That's Gross in motion. They'll hand it off up the middle. Nothing doing that time. And a short gain.
Yeah, this is like old school football. We got 2 big offensive defensive linemen going at it, and there's going to be some sore guys tomorrow, that's for sure.
Well, this is interesting. That's Jake Tucker taking the handoff. It's very rare for this G-Prep team that you see anybody besides Weaver or Please taking the handoff. But once again, you see Jake Tucker there set up in the backfield. That's new. And they will option And that's Ryan Gross taking it to the outside, and he's dropped short.
That's a great tackle by that safety coming up and making that play. That's asking a lot out of him, and he misses that. That guy goes to the house. So it was a very good tackle.
So once again, this brings up 3rd down, and looks like they're going to mark it about 3 yards away. 3rd down and 3 here for Gonzaga Prep. And once again, in the backfield, Jake Tucker. Gross in motion. They gave to Tucker, and it looks like the Richland defensive line stuffed him short. 4th down coming up.
That's great swarm tackling there. You talk about having more guys carrying the ball. You get this deep in the season, a lot of guys are banged up and hurting, and you got to rely on some of those other guys to carry the load a little bit. So I look for some people maybe that you haven't seen too much in the regular season get more carries and more playing time now.
They're marking it on the far side of the field. 4th down and about 1.5 yards. Griffey Marks back to receive for the Bombers.
See if Griffey can give him a little spark here.
Give Griffey any space, and he will just take off. Not a deep kick. Griffey going to go for a fair catch at the 31-yard line, and that's where the Bombers are going to take over. And they did get across the 50 on the last drive. We'll see if they can put some points on the board here in the first quarter. After this, G-Prep leads on an early safety here on SWX. High school football on SWX is brought to you by Russ Dean Family RV. Must-see inventory arriving daily. Shop online 24/7 at russdeanrv.com. Not just a better deal, but a better dealership. Russ Dean RV, a proud sponsor of high school sports on SWX. So the Richland Bombers taking over for a new drive on the 31-yard line after an early safety on their first drive, trying to put some points on the board. They punted it last time they had the ball. 2 running backs in the backfield. Coming to the near side, that's Kyle Whitby getting his first carry of the game. And he's dragged down at the 37, got 6 yards out of it. Now, Coach, of course, you're the head coach of the Kamaikan Braves. In case you weren't with us at the top of the game, we're joined by Scott Bigland today. How do you defend the 3-pronged attack of that Richland offense? You have Kyle Whitby, McLean Elgin, and Lakota Wills, who all get a lot of carries.
Yeah, they do a good job of mixing things up. They're out here. They started the game out in a 3-wide receiver set. Now they're in the 2-back set. So they do a lot of mixing up and keeping you on your toes as a defense.
2nd down and just shy of 5 yards to go. And they'll give it once again here to Whitby. And he's got the first down and across the 50 into G-Prep territory.
God, their tackle did a great job of stealing the edge, and that lead blocker did a nice job of kicking him out, and Kyle Whitby just followed him up the hole.
Now you see Whitby there. If that name sounds familiar, it's because it should. The Whitbys have been coming through the Richland High School program for quite a while. His brother Zach was the varsity quarterback for the Bombers just 2 years ago.
Yeah, he was a good one as well. So they just keep running them through there at Richland with some good quarterbacks.
1st down and 10 for the Bombers. Paxton's going to keep it himself as he comes to the near side, but he'll be dropped for a loss. Nothing doing that time.
Yeah, a little slow developing there. Paxton actually is a pretty good athlete and does a good job running the ball. I know against us he had a couple big runs for first down. So, obviously that's not what they want him to do, but I'm sure he'll do whatever he has to do to get a first down.
Lost 3 yards on the play. Now, this was interesting. That wasn't Lakota Wills in the backfield flanking him. That was Tatum Gillespie, who was an all-league linebacker.
Yeah, he was a good linebacker. We didn't see him much at running back, but I'm sure he can do it all right now.
Now in the backfield is Whitby, but Paxton's going to keep it himself as he gets near the 40-yard line, takes a huge hit back to the original line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 3rd down at about 10.
Absolute textbook tackle there. That one hurts a little bit. I know as a former quarterback, getting hit like that never feels good.
So Paxton's going to have to throw here on 3rd down and 10, but we know that he has a cannon. A couple of weeks ago here on SWX, I think it was against your team, Coach. He threw 45 yards off his back foot.
Yeah. We don't like to remember those kind of things, but he's got an arm. I don't know if anybody's scouting him yet or recruiting him yet for college, but he's definitely somebody that needs to be on someone's radar.
3rd down and 10 yards for the Bombers, rather. Oh, Stevens going to get hit, throws it.
It's going to be an incomplete
That's
pass.
going to be a forward pass, yeah. But a flag is down back at the 44-yard line.
Intentional ground in there.
Yeah.
It's one of the things a lot of people don't realize that, in high school football, there's no pocket. There's no outside the pocket. You got to be throwing it towards a receiver, whether you're way outside on the sidelines or not. So that's a tough one. But, Guy had somebody in his face, didn't know what else to do.
Well, Coach, if this is the first time folks here in the Tri-Cities at home we've seen Gonzaga Prep defense, they're for real. This is a real defense.
Yeah, because, Richland's offense is really, really good, and it's really tough to prepare for. And G-Prep's everything they've been hyped up to be.
Ryan Wolski got that one off the side of his foot, looks like, as he punted it away. Takes a Richland bounce down to the 31, 32-yard line, and that's where Gonzaga Prep is going to take over. Now, in case you weren't with us for the very beginning of the broadcast, I haven't seen any offensive points yet. It was a safety, a ball rolled into the Richland end zone, and they fell on it. Gonzaga Prep got 2 early points. What are you liking out of this Richland defense, though? It looks like Gonzaga Prep hasn't gotten more than 3 or 4 first downs.
Yeah, they've been they're just doing what they do, and they were the number 1 defense in our conference for a reason, man. The guys fly around, and they do a good job.
And they'll option it off. This is Mason Please. And he's up to the 50-yard line. That was a just shy of 20-yard run. Did that with only a couple blocks.
Yeah, that was a real good run in there, but also a really good job by their D tackle there, chasing it down from behind. Big old 71 there.
Okay, so we said a minute ago that Jake Tucker was in at running back, but now for the first time we're seeing Evan Weaver out of the backfield, but they'll option it off instead. This is Ryan Gross, and he's got a hole. He's got the first down. He barrels someone over, and he's near the 35.
I'll tell you, Liam did a great job of waiting until the last minute to pitch that ball, and that's absolutely what you teach an option quarterback to do. You block the guy by taking the tackle on.
And Richland, a team that has such great defensive ends, it's almost a little bit risky to run an option against that kind of team, right?
Absolutely. I wouldn't be running after Lakota there at all.
New 1st and 10. This is Evan Weaver, went to the left side hash and got about 2 yards out of it. Well, this is the boy we've been talking about all day. Evan Weaver, he scored literally all of Gonzaga Prep's points against Woodinville last weekend. 3 touchdown runs and a 50-yard pick six. He does it all for them.
Oh, man, he's a stud, and Cal's got a good one out of him.
Like we said, he's committed to play football at Cal Berkeley next year, where he'll be a defensive end.
It tells you he's also a smart kid, too, if he's going to Cal. That's not for the non-smart kids.
Takes the handoff once again, got about a yard out of it. And a little bit more about Evan Weaver here. Man, he has just been terrific. Again, he's going to play defensive end, but it wasn't only Cal. He had offers from Washington and Wazoo, Arizona, Utah, Army, and Boise State. He was a highly sought-after recruit.
Yeah, being a WSU fan, would have loved to see him go there and help those guys out a little bit. But, best of luck to him at California.
3rd down and 6 here for G-Prep. Liam Bell going to throw. Went to the safety blanket coming on the near side, and it's an incomplete pass. He was shooting for Nick Johnson, and that'll be 4th down.
Yeah, it was well set up there. Just the ball settled on him a little bit. Again, that's his first throw, I believe, so he's going to have to calm his nerves down as well.
Didn't see Gonzaga Prep throw a lot in these playoffs. They've been running nearly exclusively a run team the last couple of weeks.
Big down right here for Richland.
4th and 6, and they're going to go for it. Liam Bell on the option. This is Mason Please. And it looks like Richland got a hand on him, but I think he got the first down, Coach.
Great individual effort by that running back to get that first down.
Oh, man. Looks like they had a hand on him, too. You can't arm tackle a guy like that.
No, they did. That's one of the few missed tackles you'll see Richland make. They do such a good job of wrapping up and maintaining their tackles. That one just got away from him.
Well, that's part of what makes Please so hard to tackle. He's 5'9", 170, but, man, he can bull you over, too. New 1st and 10 from the 25. This is a quarterback keeper for Liam Bell, and he's dropped for maybe a gain of 1 yard.
Yeah, that was a great job by tackling him, gang tackling there.
Looked like Lakota Wheels in on the tackle that time for Richland, and you see him taking carries. Now you see him making tackles. This Richland defense is, as good as Gonzaga Prep's defensive line is, Richland, when you have guys like Brecken Gallagher and Lakota Wills, they were the best in the league this year, too. Bell on play action, over the middle, touchdown Bullpups. Nick Johnson hauls it in for a 25-yard strike.
Flag on the play.
But a flag is back at the 32-yard line. Oh, my, the Bombers catch a break, Coach.
I'll tell you, Liam stepped up nicely on that one and threw a rocket down the middle. That was absolutely well-designed play by Gonzaga Prep.
Well, you saw Nick Johnson make the catch in the end zone, although it's not going to count. You got to watch out for him because as much as they run, he's their deep threat coach. He's averaging 30 yards a catch this season.
Yeah, that's tough when you're playing these option defenses or these option offenses. When we played Bellevue in the state tournament 4 or 5 years ago, they got us with a couple big passes because we're too worried about the run. So,
second down at about 20 yards, and this is Weaver, somehow still on his feet and across the 30. That's going to bring up third down and a little more than 10 yards. But, man, what a quick quarter this has been. About 30 seconds to go now coming up in the first quarter. It's gone by fast, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. You got a running team in Gonzaga Prep and Richland that's trying to establish the run. You're going to see this game fly by.
A lot of running in this one.
Absolutely. Cold out there, but they're going to have to start throwing it around a little bit if they want to get this going.
They're going to call it third down and 12 here for the Bullpups. Liam Bell going deep, and the flag coming in.
Yeah, he got him on an out and up there, and
yeah,
just got him stopped a little bit.
Definitely pushed him off his route to begin that, too, because Bell threw and there was nobody there.
Yeah, and in high school football, you could push him all the way down the field as long as you want, but once that ball's thrown, you can't touch him.
See what the referees have to say.
Prior to the pass, be there. Holding. Defense number 8. That's a 10-yard penalty. That foul does not include an automatic first down. It'll be third down again.
So it was third down and 13 on the scoreboard. Now that makes it third down and 3 for the Bullpups, and got to think they'll go to the ground here. No need to risk it passing again.
Yeah, definitely. This is definitely 4-down territory, so they've been doing well on the run, so look for them to go up the middle with their big Evan Weaver kid.
Hunter Grade coming back in the game on the defensive line for the Bombers. 6'3" and 275 pounds. They have their big unit in on defense.
Yeah, they're going to try to clog that middle up.
And it's an option. Once again, this is Johnson. You saw him almost make that touchdown catch that didn't count a second ago. And he's got the first down.
I'll tell you what, G-Prep's wide receivers are blocking on the edge, and the Richland guys are doing a good job getting off them. It's just, great football game right now.
And that'll do it for the first quarter here today at Edgar Brown Stadium. A quick one. The only scoring so far, a first drive safety, and Gonzaga Prep with the early 2-point lead. They're coming back in the Richland red zone, trying to get their first offensive points of the game after this quick commercial break on SWX. High school football on SWX is brought to you today by Catholic Regional Medical Center, serving your injuries and ailments from primary care to emergency care in Pasco, Kennewick, and Richland. Growing to meet your healthcare needs, visit Catholic.org and find medical services in areas convenient to you. 2-point lead for G-Prep to begin the second quarter. But, man, they have a first down and goal situation from just inside the 10-yard line, trying to put up the first offensive points of this 4A state semifinal game. Nick Johnson came around the outside, and he's taken down just shy of the goal line.
Yeah, we got to have Richland's defense step up here. They're G-Prep's doing a really nice job of getting around the edge, mixing their dives and options in. So hopefully Richland can step up and hold them to a field goal try.
No surprise to see Johnson with the speed on the outside. He's one of the standouts on the track team at G-Prep. He's a star at the jump and the hurdles. Second and goal. This is Weaver. Nope, it's a pitch to Johnson on the outside, and he takes it in for the touchdown. Gonzaga Prep, the first points of the game on offense.
That's a well-designed play there. Everybody went for that dive, and option became wide.
Nick Johnson with the carry.
Of course, if you're on the defensive line, you want to think that you assume it's going to be Weaver punching it up the gut.
Absolutely. I mean, sure, they've had their scouting report, and G-Prep did a really nice job probably of using that to their advantage there.
So Jared Kutchin to put up the PAT, and the snow is starting to come down. Here at Edgar Brown, it's light here on the near side, but it is visible. Trying to make it a 9-point lead.
Great hold by the holder.
And he does, a 9-0 lead for Gonzaga Prep right here at the beginning of the second quarter. That option offense, Coach, on that drive, nearly unstoppable.
Yeah, that's very tough to defend. They're going to have the works cut out for them because not only do you got to stop Evan up the middle on a dive, but you also got to protect the quarterback and keep your option responsibilities.
The QB, Liam Bell, he holds on to the very last second. He's very good at that.
Oh, yeah, he does a good job of it, and it's very tough to defend.
Bawden, the world's athletic ball expert, is headquartered in Renton, Washington. Bawden,
So the Richland Bombers all of a sudden find themselves in a 2-possession hole in the first half, something, Coach, we weren't exactly sure we were going to see again. Last season when these two teams played, 3-point game. When they played in week 1, a 3-point win for Gonzaga Prep. I think we all kind of expected it might be 0-0 headed into halftime. Not the case so far.
Yeah, but this Richland team, I know playing against them, they got a lot of talent, they got a lot of fight in them, and they're definitely not going to roll over and die right now. So they're going to give everything they have, and I look for a good series to come out from Paxton right now.
Only concern for the Bombers might be they've been so good in league this year, again undefeated in the MCC. Been a while since they've played from behind.
Yeah, that's always tough, but I think they just got to stick to their game plan and, trust in what they do.
That's Griffey March. He was voted the Mid-Columbia Conference All-Purpose Player of the Year this week. And here he comes. He'll take it from just shy of the 15. You see that agility. He's up to the 30-yard line and pushed out just around the 35. And did that with almost no blocking, by the way.
I'll tell you what, you see him on the field, you don't think much of him, but, man, when he gets the ball in his hands, he's pretty electric.
Led the league in receiving this year as well, 54 catches, 7 touchdowns, and led the league in catches last year too.
Just makes good things happen when he gets the ball. So I look for them to hopefully, use that and get the ball in his hands and see what he can do.
Well, he isn't in on this play. They're running 3 receivers, but Griffey's on the sideline. Near side of your screen, that's Rhett Livin, who already has 2 catches on the bottom. And this is a handoff to Lakota Wills. They'll give it to the big guy, and he's got about 2 yards.
That Evan did a good job getting off that block there. Very tough to block.
Now, Lakota was just voted the league MVP this week, and Coach, it's pretty funny. We were looking at the first team all-league. It was pretty much just all Richland and all Kamiakin for your team as well.
Yeah, it was a tough one. There's a lot of good players in our league. We're fortunate enough to get a lot of our guys on there, and same with Richland.
Second down at about 9 yards. They'll go to Lakota again, once again to the ground. They take him down by the legs. He's up to the 40, got about 2 yards. Third down and about 6.
Yeah, he's a load to take down, so they're doing a good job staying low on Lakota and wrapping up and hanging on. Very impressed with this Gonzaga defense, though.
People have been touting them all year. Held Paxton to only about 80 yards passing in week 1 of the season. Third down and 6 here for Stevens and the Bombers. That's a complete pass and a first down for the Bombers. Alex Chapman hauls in his first catch of the day.
Yeah, that was a good read by Paxton. The corner was showing that he was up in a 2-press look, and he backed off at the last minute, and Paxton did a good job recognizing it and completing that for a first down.
In Alex Chapman, you'll see him make the catch here. Just another one of these receiving weapons for the Bombers. First team all-league cornerback, second team all-league wide receiver. Very versatile kid.
Yeah, they got weapons all around, so they got to use that.
New 1st and 10 here for the Bombers. Stevens on the QB keeper and dragged down for a loss. In on the tackle that time for G-Prep, Josh Condon.
Great play by them. They tried to run a quarterback lead, and Gonzaga was waiting for it. Like I said, Paxton's he's a good athlete, but, when you got a couple unblocked guys coming in at you, it's hard to make all the mess.
Their up front 4 been highly heralded across the state this season. Loss of 2 yards on the sack, second down and 12, and Lakota Wills in the backfield. Griffey March in the slot. They're going to look deep into coverage, and Stevens just overshot Chapman, looking for him again.
Tell you what, G-Prep does a good job getting pressure with just their front 4, and when you can do that and let your linebackers drop back into coverage, your defense is going to be tough to score on.
So here's what we're talking about, all these different weapons for Richland. You have March and Chapman, who you've already seen today. You have Levin, who already made 2 catches. Then Ryan Wolski, who's a great receiver, also their kicker. And then Ryan Piper. 5 receivers, all with double-digit catches. That's rare in this league.
Oh, absolutely.
Third down and 12 yards. Stevens going to buy some time. And that one looks like it was hauled in by the Bombers, and it was. Ryan Wolski moves the chains. He got it by a yard.
Absolutely great job by both Paxton and by the receivers to, we call that the scramble drill. When the quarterback breaks the pocket, you break out your routes. And Paxton did a great job of keeping his eyes downfield and delivering the mail.
And you're going to hear Wolski's name a lot today on this broadcast because not only is he a great receiver, as you can see on that catch, also a first-team All-League kicker. He hit one here on SWX 2 weeks ago from 57 yards. That boy can kick.
Yeah, he hit 2 against us from about 45. He's pretty good.
Inside the 35, new first down. Stevens, near side, this is Griffey March. Hard to tackle, got 4 yards out of almost nothing.
Yeah, a little bubble screen there off a play fake. Good little design there. We just happened to miss one block, but, pick up 4 yards on first down is always a good thing.
Good example of this. Paxton Stevens says, even if Griffey gets pushed off his route, he'll always get back on, and I know where he'll be.
Yeah, that's when you got connections like that, it's very hard to stop those guys.
2nd and 6. This is Wills. He's got the carry. He's inside the 20. And he's taken down inside the 15. All 6'3", 230 pounds. Hard to bring that guy down.
Absolutely, but that was a great job blocking by that left side over there. They opened up a hole for Lakota, and Lakota, once he gets that motor going, man, he's kind of scary when he's coming at you that hard.
Lakota coming off a big game last week against Moses Lake, 120 yards and a touchdown. First and 10, and they'll still come out of the shotgun. Got to get down to the 4 for a new first down. And they'll give it to Lakota again. They're getting some luck with him. He's spun down at the 11, got about 4 yards.
Yeah, the G-Prep dropped into a cover 3 look, which brought an extra guy into the box after that last run. So good job by Richland to get them out of what they're comfortable doing.
And the tricky thing is, if you want to blitz Lakota and try to get a little bit of extra pressure, you're just leaving it open for one of their 5 wide receivers to make a catch.
And I think Paxton has a free range to pull that thing and throw that thing anytime, even if it's a run play. So it's tough to defend.
2nd and 7. Kyle Whitby takes the carry, and he's dragged down for a loss of about 3 yards.
It's great pressure from the backside there, chasing it down.
What a great tackle, and you saw him. Once again, that's Evan Weaver. Been talking about him all day, and look, is he able to do it with almost, did it with a little bit of help.
Yeah, and Paxton, he had the option to pull there, but their number 47, their outside linebacker, did a good job staying home and making sure he gave that ball up.
3rd down and 11 after the loss. Alex Chapman going to the top of your screen. Rhett Levin right in front of you. Stevens rolls. Big pressure coming. Overshot Brecken Gallagher looking to the tight end for the first time today. That'll bring up 4th down.
That was Evan Weaver with some pressure again, man. He's everything they've hyped him up to be, and he's going to be tough. He's going to be a force all game long.
I saw Brecken almost make the catch there. He's got interest from Eastern Washington, Central Washington, and Whitworth.
Yeah, he was our defensive player of the year in the conference. So, he's a good one. Being an old Whitworth guy, if he'd like to go there, that'd be good for our alma mater there.
So here's Ryan Wolski to kick. Like we said, he's hit from over 50 yards this season. This should just be a chip shot, really. 33-yard attempt. It's high. And it does have the distance. Score 9-3, and Richland is finally on the board midway here through this second quarter. Fans, high school sports on SWX is brought to you by Max Muscle Sports Nutrition, located in front of the Richland Gold's Gym. Set a goal, make a plan, get results. Max Muscle, a proud sponsor of high school sports on SWX. midway through the second quarter in this 4A semifinal game. Winner moves on to play at the Tacoma Dome in the state championship next weekend. Gonzaga Prep an early 9-point lead. In Richland, though, Coach just scored their first 3 of the game. Solid drive.
Excellent drive. I thought their offensive coordinators did a good job of mixing in the run and the pass and keeping Gonzaga guessing what they're doing. So they got to continue doing that if they want to get a win today.
Wolski to kick. Devin Culp and Sam Lockett back to receive, but they won't get a chance. It's a high, short kick. Oh, man. Just drilled. John Mackey made the catch, and bringing him down was Kyle Kirby.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, they got Wolski who can kick it in the end zone every time, but when you play Richland, you have to prepare for everything. They squib it, and they pooch it, and they kick it deep. So you got to be ready for anything with these guys.
I'm impressed he held on to that ball.
That was a shot. I don't know if I would have held on to it. Matter of fact, I know I wouldn't have.
Okay, so 1st and 10. They'll take it from their own 34-yard line. Good field position here for the undefeated Bullpups. 12-0 this season. And dragged down that time. Great tackle on Mason Please. Brigham Whitby on the line that time, brought him down.
Yeah, great pressure by this front 4.
Big boy, 6 feet tall and 275 pounds. As great as the Gonzaga Prep D-line is, Richland's very good as well.
Look for the option again.
2nd and 10. You called it, Coach. There it is. Ball is loose. Lakota Wills fell on it for the Bombers.
That's exactly what they need. A little mo on their side now.
And he was the league MVP for a reason. That is one of those reasons.
Absolutely. You know, if I got any advice, try to run away from them.
Man, we already told you at the top of the broadcast, he's committed to play college football at Air Force next year. Had offers from Portland State, Montana State, and Army. And man, the Air Force Falcons are going to be lucky to have a kid like this.
Absolutely.
Because he forced that pitch by himself, too.
He played both of them. He played quarterback and the pitch, and he did a good job. Look for Richland to maybe take a shot here and try to build off that momentum they got.
So after the fumble recovery, Wills is in the backfield next to Stevens. G-Prep bringing up one of their safeties. Paxton over the middle to Griffey Marsh. Down near the 10-yard line for the conference's leading receiver.
Absolutely. Great throw and a great route by Griffey Marsh. Great call.
Good momentum from that last drive.
Absolutely. You just got to keep building off that. It's a game of momentum right now, and Richland seems to seize control of that right now.
First team all-league offense and defense, Griffey Marsh. One of the senior leaders on this team, and man, does he have some hands on him. 1st down and 10. Got to get down to the 1 for a new first. Stevens hands off to Lakota Wills. Stays on his feet, falls forward about 5 yards.
Yeah, you talk about Paxton and March having a good connection. I'm sure they worked all summer long, and you know that's something we try to preach to our kids at Kamaikan is, you know, you got to work every day in the off season to get that connection. So it looks like they're doing a great job of it right now.
Well, they're bringing in a bigger look here. They sent off Ryan Wolski and brought in the tight end Brecken Gallagher. They see him there on the right side of the line. 2nd down and 6. But they'll give to Lakota. Got up to the 5-yard line. Got about 3 yards. Going to bring up 3rd down and very short, maybe 2.
Toughest 3 yards you'll probably ever get. That was a good football play all around.
That's the guy we want taking the handoff, though.
Absolutely.
Not a lot of looks today for Kyle Whitby and McLean Elgin. Most of their productive running has been via Lakota Wills. 3rd down and just inside 3 yards to get to the first. About 4 yards to the end zone.
Look for Griffey March up top.
3rd down. There he is, Coach. You called it, but it was tipped.
Great play by that cornerback up there.
You called it, Coach. Well done.
Well, he's a stud up there, and want to try to get your playmaker the ball. So
that's going to bring up 4th down on a big decision for Mike Neidhold and Paxton Stevens. And before they make that decision, they're going to go ahead and call a timeout. So only about 4 minutes until halftime for these Richland Bombers, and it was a 9-point start for these Gonzaga Prep, and now Richland bounces back, a chance to take the lead here. Let's take a look at the coach, how they got here. Ranked 6th entering the playoffs. They beat up Central Valley on SWX here a couple weeks ago, 30-3, and they had a close one last week in Moses Lake. And again, Like we said, they're 11-1 this season. They would be undefeated if they hadn't lost to Gonzaga Prep. They're a championship caliber team if they can get this win today, either way.
Oh, absolutely. Both these teams are championship worthy. I know that GSL is a tough one. We played Rogers in the first round, and I think they were 3 or 4 wins in the league, and we thought we were going to walk right through them. And I tell you, they were one of the most physical teams we played all year. So that GSL, they got a lot of great players up there. They got a lot of good football, but our conference down here is just as good. So good championship caliber teams right here.
4th down, and they are going to go for it. Lakota Wills on the right side. Flanked to the left is Tatum Gillespie, a linebacker. Lakota Wills takes the handoff to the outside. It looks like he hit the pylon. Referee's waiting for the call. Down at the 1-yard line, it looks like, so a first down inside the 1.
Really, really good run there. That was Lakota wanting it more than the other guys right now. So new set of downs to see if they can punch it in now.
So they make it on 4th down. Now they have 4 chances from inside the 1-yard line.
On the field was the runner's progress was stopped before the ball came out. There will be an official timeout for measurement.
Well, we're not quite sure exactly. They're saying we'll take an official timeout for measurement. Coach, from our angle up here in the booth, it looks like he got it.
It looked like he got it for sure. But again, they got a better look down on the field than I do. So.
And they said the ball came out, so it may have fallen out and just bounced out of bounds.
Yeah, that could have happened too.
Here's the measurement. And they got it by the skin of their teeth.
Hey, they'll take it.
So 4 downs from inside the 1-yard line for Paxton Stevens and the Bombers. And you got to think Lakota Wills is going to be going full speed ahead.
Oh, this should be Lakota Wills time, although I don't see him in there right now.
He is not. That's Kyle Whitby flanked to the left and Tatum Gillespie to the right. So maybe they go smaller here, faster, and go to Whitby.
First and goal from the 1-yard line for the Bombers.
A chance to tie the game, and a PAT would give him the lead.
Look for some kind of play fake on first down here to catch him off guard. G-Prep's got everybody up on the line right here.
Yeah, they're stacked. First down. Kyle Whitby falls into the end zone. Touchdown Bombers, tie game.
Absolutely great push by Richland there. That was a really good job by those guys.
Great push by the offensive line up front, and Kyle Whitby collects his 9th rushing touchdown of the season.
Great answer by Richland. One more point here, we'll get him in the lead. Again, way to answer that first fumble there for the safety and the early touchdown, but they responded just like a championship team.
Well, isn't this terrific for them? Gonzaga Prep began the game with 9 unanswered points. Now Richland, 9 unanswered points of their own. Ryan Wolski makes it 10 unanswered. No, they say missed it. Never mind. We're going to have a tie game here with 3:45 towards the half. Now, Coach, this is the kind of game we expected.
We got a flag on the field.
Flag down.
Flag on the play.
Such a great kicker.
During the kick, holding, offense, denied. Play, the extra point is so good, we know yardage success on the kickoff. Kickoff, Richland.
So back-to-back runs of 9 unanswered points for both teams.
This is exactly what we expected. A battle. It's going to be a fun one here.
It looked like that one almost fell out of Kyle's arms, actually. It didn't look like he quite had that going in, but good for him.
That's the difficult part about that whole zone read on the goal line there. You don't have a whole lot of time to secure the ball. You ask those running backs to have a loose grip on it at the beginning, because if we want to pull it, the quarterback pull it, he can. So very tough for him.
So now Gonzaga Prep only has 3 minutes and 45 seconds on this drive coming up. The undefeated Bullpups beat Battleground to the playoffs this year and got by Woodinville last week, 12-0. So Ryan Wolski, after missing the PAT, like you said, Coach, out of character to kick this one off again for the Bombers. And you see once again how the Bullpups got here undefeated, and they were down against Woodinville last week for the first time in a long time, but they battled back. So again, both teams have the capability to battle back. Just because one team has a lead, as we've already seen, is no indicator of anything.
Yeah, it's very seldom you make it through a season without any adversity. So it's all how you respond to that adversity is what defines you as a team.
And as the snow begins to come down in Pasco, Richland kicks it off. They'll do the same thing, high short kick. Dragged down. Richland got him at the 22 as Casey Anthony tried to run it back.
Yeah, it's absolutely tough when they do that high kick there to get any yards out of it. Great job by Richland.
Take a look at this one more time. Great tackle that time for the Bombers. That was Brad Anderson who reined him in. So now G-Prep takes it from the 24. Pretty long way to go. Liam Bell on play action. He's going deep to Johnson. And he makes the catch at the 40-yard line. Like we said, he's averaging 30 yards a catch this season, and he goes deep this time.
Oh, a lot of guys down on the field right now.
Yeah, threw that into coverage. Looks like one of the Richland players got hurt. That's Alex Chapman, but he's getting up.
Absolutely beautifully designed play. He had two guys actually down the seams wide open and just completed that one nicely.
So Alex Chapman is getting off the field now on his own ability, which is good news. And there's some Gonzaga prep players back as well. Both teams have players down. Take a look at this one more time. And you see Alex Chapman went helmet to helmet unintentionally with one of the players on his own team.
Yeah, we hate to see that. Hopefully he'll be all right there. He's such a great player, and sometimes it breaks of the game.
Well, everyone is now off the field for Richland who got shaken up, including Alex Chapman. Gonzaga Prep, though, was a player back on their own 20-yard line. We're trying to identify exactly who that is. That's number 72 for G-Prep. That's Kendall Brock, but he's up and looks like he'll make it to the sideline okay. But now the Richland Bombers defense a little shaken up themselves after giving up a big pass on the previous play. And now G-Prep is back in Bomber territory after 9 unanswered points from Richland.
Yeah, they're going to have to settle down now and get back to doing what they know how to do.
Mason Please in the backfield. Bell out of the shotgun. That's pretty rare. And they'll give to Please on the read. He's up to the 35, got 5 yards.
Yeah, great job by that up front, getting a push and making a hole for the running back to run through.
He's had good success against the Bombers. Week 1 this season against Richland went for 100 yards.
That's no easy task against those guys. There's some big boys up there, and they play well. So to get that many yards is pretty impressive.
2nd down and 5. Bell's going to keep it himself. He's got the first down near the 20, and he's taken down. And that'll move the chains.
Does an absolutely nice job of riding that ball all the way through his running back's gut, and it's tough for a linebacker to not come off of that and go for the running back, and he read that and took it. Big gain there.
New 1st and 10. The option. This is the big boy, Evan Weaver. They gave him too much space. He's across the 10, and I think he got 9 yards, and he might not have moved the chains. But they made him airborne. That's a hard thing to do.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, the receivers out wide are blocking phenomenal out there, and a lot of the times those guys don't get recognition for that, but they're doing a good job on the edge.
Again, Weaver last week had literally all of Gonzaga Prep's points against Woodinville. 3 rushing touchdowns and a pick 6.
He's a stud.
1st and goal from the 9-yard line. They gave it to him. Weaver up the middle, pounds his way up to the 5. 2nd down. So now the clock continues to run. We're approaching the 2-minute mark. The question is if the Richland defensive line can get another big push.
Yeah, they got to plug up the middle and keep their option responsibilities on the edge. It's tough, very tough to defend.
2nd and goal from the 6. Johnson in motion. Bell, the keeper, and he's dropped, I think, a yard behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, good penetration by Richland there.
So 3rd down and goal from what looks like the 6-yard line after the loss on the play. So good push up front from Richland.
3rd and goal for the Bullpups.
And now 3rd and goal for G Prep. Crucial possession here, because you're going to give Richland a little bit of time on the other end of this. Bell, he's going to throw over the middle. Touchdown Gonzaga Prep. Ryan Gross hauls it in.
Absolutely outstanding pass by Liam there. He had Lakota breathing down his neck, actually popped him on the release. Great job standing in there and delivering the rock.
Well, Gross has been everywhere today. We saw him take a couple option pitches, and now we see him with a touchdown catch. 15-6 is our score. Trying to make it, rather 15-9 is our score, trying to make it 16-9. Kutch for the PAT, and it's blocked by the Bombers. Well, that's good news, because now only a touchdown for the Bombers, so the minute 18 would tie it, and if they actually get the PAT on the other end, Coach, they could take a lead into halftime.
Absolutely, and you got a good kicker, so 2 field goals, you're back to a tie ball game as well, so no need to panic right now.
Man, Liam Bell takes the hit as he throws, and a diving catch from Ryan Gross. Excellent.
Hey, when you run the ball as well as Gonzaga Prep's doing right now, and you run that play action, it's very, very tough to defend.
So now it's going to have to be a quick drive, likely with some key passes here. Paxton Stevens going to have to prove why he was the first-team all-conference quarterback.
Yeah, look for them to, see what they can get on first down, and that'll probably dictate what he's going to do going into half here. He's got 2 timeouts left.
So Richland already burned one of their timeouts on that 4th down play back when they got a touchdown on that drive. So now 2 timeouts for Richland. Gonzaga Prep has all 3. And Griffey March back to receive if they dare kick it to him.
See if Richland get good field position here so they could take a chance at the end zone.
Let's see if they kick it to March. And they will. March from just inside the 10. Fights his way up to the 34-yard line. That ball is out, but down by contact. So a reasonable field, Coach.
Absolutely. Like I said, we're going to see what they do on first down here, and I'm sure that's going to have a lot of it's going to tell us a lot about what they're going to do this drive.
Again, they have 2 timeouts and down 6 points. You see Griffey March and Rhett Livin coming out.
This is where you want Paxton to step up now. No longer a junior now. He's playing as a senior now.
1st and 10, 1:11 to play in the first half. Bombers down 6 and a bad snap. Paxton has it and dragged down at the 25-yard line. Big loss, about 10 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 20.
Yeah, you could probably see them run out the clock now, but it's unfortunate on the bad snap. Pax did everything he could to try to gather that thing up and make something out of nothing, but it's very tough.
And don't forget, this is tough for the Bombers because Gonzaga Prep will receive to begin the second half. .40 seconds, 2nd and 20 for Stevens and the Bombers. And they'll hand it off to Kyle Whitby. And yep, right, Coach, they're just going to try to run this one out.
Yeah, last thing you want to do is give them any more momentum going into half. So, you just lick your wounds right now, go in at half down by 6, and you're still in a good ball game here. Matter of fact, they don't even have to run another play.
They don't. There's 15 seconds on the play clock and 9 seconds on the game clock, so that'll be the end of the first half and an eventful, defensively minded first half. Coach, your quick thoughts as we head into the break.
Gonzaga Prep's everything that they've been built up to do. I think Richland did a good job of weathering the storm at the beginning. Look for them to go in and make adjustments in a halftime. They got a great coaching staff there, and I'm looking forward to the second half.
Boy, was that a fast first half. Just over 1 hour and 15-9 is our score. Gonzaga Prep's leading. Fans, stick around. The SWX halftime show is coming up. We'll break down the first half and take a look at some of the highlights as well. That's all coming up in just a second. High school football on SWX is brought to you today by Ben Franklin Transit. Make your work commute easy and relaxing with the Ben Franklin Transit Van Pool program. A van pool is easy to get started. The gas, tires, maintenance, and insurance are all included in one low monthly fee, and van pooling can save you thousands of dollars every year. Call Ben Franklin Transit at 735-5100. It was fast. Only a 1 hour first half, but we are back today from Edgar Brown Stadium in Pasco. Greg Talbot here with the head coach of the Kamaikan Braves, Scott Biglin, our special guest color commentator today, and a 15-9 lead in the first half for G Prep. They got a 9-point early lead and tacked on a late touchdown.
Yeah, it's been a good football game all around. G Prep has done a good job of running their option football, and Richland's got to go in at halftime now to make an adjustment to that option.
And a nice crowd on hand as well. And, Coach, let's go ahead and take a look at the keys to the game, which the coaches thought they needed to do to get some wins today. Let's begin with Gonzaga Prep. What have they done well?
They're definitely dominating the line. They're doing a good job of running that option. And, it's tough when you don't know where that ball is going. And Liam's doing a good job of riding his running backs all the way through and pulling it at the last minute. So he's definitely keeping them guessing. So Richland, they're doing a good job. I'd like to see them maybe take a few more shots down the field, try to get those DBs to back up a little bit. But Paxton doing a good job of stepping up in the pocket, moving around, and keeping his eyes downfield.
And that's the one on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, which we knew they were going to be very aware of. Richland High School, since they played them in Week 1, has changed. Paxton Stevens, the quarterback, he only had 14 practices as the QB1 for the Bombers. Very different in Week 1. All of a sudden, with only 14 practices, he eventually became the #1 quarterback in the conference.
Yeah, he had 14 practices, but I'm sure he had a lot more during the offseason and the summer times and whatnot, just trying to get ready. I know he had a pretty serious injury last year, so
broke his back.
Yeah. For him to come back from that and to play at the level that he's playing right now says a lot about his character and his tenacity.
So a very interesting first half, and we'll talk about it a little bit more on the other side of a break in the halftime show. But again, 15-9 is our score. Coach, we just took a look at the keys to the game. So again, we'll take a look at the highlights in a little bit, but your take on Richland in the first half. I'm interested to hear what you think. We were kind of expecting to see all the running backs in pretty big numbers. Kyle Whitby, McLean Elgin, Lakota Wills. It's really been kind of the Lakota show.
Yeah, when you got a guy like that is as big and as physical and as talented as Lakota is, it's kind of hard not to just give him the ball and let him keep doing what he does. I know they got other good running backs as well, but when you got a dominant guy like him, you want to try to keep it in his hands as much as possible.
And on the other side for Gonzaga Prep, they have done a pretty good job, I think, of balancing Mason Pleas and Evan Weaver.
Oh, absolutely. I just think their quarterback, Liam, has done a phenomenal job running this offense that they run, and it's just keeping Richland on their toes. And they gotta play option responsibility, which is a very tough thing to do.
Very interesting. Mason Pleas had most of the first quarter ones, and Evan Weaver punched it in the second quarter before that passing touchdown late in the half. Well, that'll do it for the first segment of the halftime show, folks. Coming up after the break, we're taking a look at all your first half highlights in case you missed a couple. Again, though, G Prep up 15-9 at the break. Coming back with the highlights in just a second. High school football on SWX is brought to you by Irrigation Specialists, a Lindsay company offering tough and dependable Zematic water management systems, the choice for the world's irrigators for over 50 years. Where every crop and drop counts, you can rely on Irrigation Specialists in Pasco, Grandview, Othello, and Hermiston, a Lindsay company. Back here at halftime, Edgar Brown Stadium in Pasco, 15-9 is our score. Gonzaga Prep on top of Richland. We'll take a look here at the first half highlights. And, Coach, we were kind of expecting it maybe to be a close 0-0 game, but right out of the gate, G Prep 2 points on an early safety.
Yeah, very fortunate that they did recover the ball, and they only got a safety out of it. That could have been a bigger hole than they already ran.
So a 2-point lead on the very first Richland drive for G Prep, and then they went to the ground very effectively. You see Ryan Gross there, got him in the red zone.
Yeah, they're doing a good job controlling the line of scrimmage up front.
But then they fumbled. And Brecken Gallagher fell in it for the Bombers, leading them to a pretty good drive of their own, including this run from Kyle Whitby.
Very good run by Kyle. It was a very tough run for a little guy. Runs hard.
But then G Prep got it back, and once again they went to Gross. They've been going to him a lot today on options, and you'll see him later in the highlights. He had one of their touchdowns, but here was their first TD. This was Nick Johnson, the receiver on the option pitch.
Yeah, that's tough. You got to have some option responsibilities there, which I'm sure they're talking about right now.
So then, though, after a 9-0 deficit, Richland crawled right back in it, including that catch from Alex Chapman. And this was a solid drive, although it did end a little prematurely here after this run from Paxton.
Yeah, I think Paxton needs to rely on his arm a little bit to make some throws to get him back in this game.
But then, fumble on the pitch. Lakota Wills fell on it, and then Richland struck, getting their first points of the game on this drive.
Yeah, got to capitalize on mistakes and turnovers, and they did exactly that.
Griffey March, leading receiver in the conference, hauling that one in. And then Alex Chapman, first touchdown of the game for the Bombers. Kyle Whitby. Then, though, G-Prep. Last drive of the half went deep to Johnson, and they capped it off the drive with just an excellent play action. Liam Bell to Gross, touchdown.
The great part about that, his feet never stopped. It was amazing.
15-9 the score. Fans, second half right after this on SWX. Halftime in the 4A semifinals here from Edgar Brown Stadium. Gonzaga Prep leading Richland 15-9. Now Gonzaga Prep to receive the ball up 6 points. Now, Coach, during halftime you said this is going to be a critical drive. Either way, if G-Prep's up 2 touchdowns, it's going to be harder to come back, but Richland in need of a big stop on defense.
Yeah, if they can hold them to a 3-and-out or even a 2 first downs and out, get the ball back and put some points up, then we got to have a good ball game on our hands.
Casey Anthony makes the reception. 33-yard line is where the Bullpups are going to begin this new drive. So we'll see what the Richland Bombers are able to put together on defense or the Gonzaga Prep offense. That option has been working well, but they're also going deep. Their touchdown late in the half came on a strike to Ryan Gross, the wide receiver. They've been moving the ball so well. Let's see what they're able to do here in the second half. First down and 10. And Liam Bell, the quarterback, only gets about a yard out of it before he's pushed down pretty hard by that Richland defense.
Exactly what they're going to have to do. They're going to have one guy taking the ball carrying, another guy on the quarterback, another guy on the pitch guy, and that's exactly what they did there. Great job.
The only real deep shots that he took in the first half, again, that touchdown pass to Ryan Gross, but he also found Nick Johnson a couple of times. But again, G-Prep just a nearly exclusively running team, and they go to Johnson here. Oh, he finds the corner and stays in bounds, but not long enough to get the first. You got to get to the 43 for the first down. I think he was just about 2 yards short.
You're going to see they did make an adjustment on that. Griffey came up and had pitch responsibility, just couldn't make the play there. A great job by the number 30 there getting around the corner.
They'll mark it that he was just a yard and a half short. They love doing that, the fake handoff and then the pitch. It's been both Gross and Johnson taking the pitches on that play. Weaver in the backfield. And they're going to give to him, and he's going to fall forward. That was mono, and G-Prep wins the push.
Yeah, Brecken did a good job stepping up and making a collision, but when you got a guy going to Cal, it's going to be hard to win that one.
Again, that's Evan Weaver, committed to Cal to play defensive end, but he's also been a great running back this season, entering this game over 700 yards and 13 touchdowns. New first and 10. They'll go to the option, and they'll go to Weaver. Got 8 yards out of it.
Again, great blocking on the edge there to open up that hole. Great play call.
So G-Prep, great early up-front pushes to begin this third quarter drive.
You know, G-Prep does a real nice job of getting Evan in and out of there and keeping him fresh for defense. So credit to their coaches for knowing their guy and getting him in and out of there when he needs a break.
Second down and 1. They'll give it to him, and once again they'll fall forward, and he got it. How do you stop a running back who's 6'4", 245?
That's tough, you know. You just gotta gang tackle and talk about fighting as a team and doing your best to hang on, and hopefully another guy come in and poke the ball away.
Well, we can use a real-life example. I mean, Lakota Wills, you had to face him in Week 7. Of course, Scott Biglin here, head coach of Kamaikan, joining us on the broadcast. He's 6'3" and 230. How did you guys try to or plan to tackle Lakota?
I don't know if we did a real good job on him, but
come on, you were fine, Coach.
Yeah, he's a tough one. It'll be a tough one for them.
And this is Johnson again on the wide receiver pitch. Got 8 yards on it.
Yeah, the thing you want to ask them to do is the first guy to initial make contact and hang on, and you want to have other guys come in and force strips and try to make them fumble the ball. But he's wrapping up and hanging on for dear life.
Now Johnson made a touchdown catch in the first half that was called back on an offensive holding penalty, so it didn't count, but he's been getting good separation.
Yeah, look for them to come back to that play in the second half here.
Second down at about 2. Please, stopped. They went to the smaller running back, and he got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they did a corner fire there off this short side of the field, which was an absolute great play call by them, and Griffey was able to go in there and help clog up the middle.
Griffey March got hands on him. Third down and 3. Big play here. Gonzaga Prep's offense has been moving the ball down the field very well in this first drive of the second half. Richland D for the big stop.
Could be 4-down territory here as well.
Inside 10 seconds on the play clock. 5 seconds to get it off. And they do. Option pitch to Weaver. Oh, man, he's into the secondary. He's got the first down, but there is a flag back at the 36.
Look for some kind of holding on the edge there.
Brendan Gallagher and Ryan Piper in on the stop for the Bombers. Penalty flags on the play.
During the run, Dilling blocking back. Offense number 30. That's a 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 4 down.
Richland catches a break.
They did. They did a good job. They had a guy on the pitch, ready to get him. It's just bringing that guy down is another story. So they're going to have to take that into account as well.
Still only a 6-point game, but now instead of a new first down in the Richland red zone, Gonzaga Prep is looking at third down and about 17 yards.
Yeah, this is not where Gonzaga wants to be, so be a tough play for them here.
Look for Ryan Gross or Nick Johnson. Bell coming near side to Devin Culp, and he overshot him. First time they were looking at Culp today, the team's number 2 receiver.
Hey, he's a big guy. He's a mismatch out there, and but Griffey's not afraid to go after those guys.
Yeah, you see him there. He's 6'4" and 190 pounds. He's only a sophomore. He's so tall that actually, as a freshman last year, he got a lot of time on the Gonzaga Prep varsity basketball team.
That says a lot about him and his athletic ability, because I know the GSL has some great basketball programs up there. So props to him. It's going to be a force to reckon with in the future.
So a big stop for Richland. That's what they were looking for on defense. And now they'll punt it away, and
Back deep for the Bombers.
Griffey March back to receive at the 10. Griffey from the 10. And he shook 2 defenders. Here goes March. He should have been taken down to the 9, and he made it to the 30, Coach.
He's just so elusive back there. That's a great job. Most guys are going to fair catch that or let it bounce, and he stuck in there the last minute, made a great play, and he got himself another 20 yards out of the play.
He beat 2 defenders straight up. Just shook him and made him miss.
That's a good weapon to have right there.
Again, the Mid-Columbia Conference All-Purpose Player of the Year. That includes his first-team defense, first-team offense, and, of course, led the conference in return yardage this year as well.
Yeah, he's a good player, and those are the little things that are going to push you over the edge right there, and looks like we got a Gonzaga guy down over there.
On the far sideline. Thankfully, it looks like everyone is okay. Taking the hit that time was Jared Kutch, the kicker.
It's a physical game out there. Even the kicker's got to get involved in it.
So now a big drive for the Richland Bombers on offense. Just a touchdown would tie it up. A touchdown and a PAT would give them the lead for the first time today. They had a chance to take the lead when they scored their touchdown, but the rare missed PAT by Ryan Wolski.
Yeah, that's something that's not going to happen too often for him.
No. So Kyle Whitby in as the running back for Paxton Stevens, the QB. And they'll give to Kyle. Finds a small hole, and he gets 3 yards.
Kyle Whitby with the carry.
A good first down play. Hopefully they come back and keep building upon each game there.
Whitby didn't have a great game last week against Moses Lake. 10 carries, 27 yards. But he's been a good option today. And he's back there in the backfield again on second down and 8. And they'll give it to him again. Arm tackle, and they bring him down just 2 yards short of the line of the first down line. Looking at third down and 2.
Good hard run by Whitby there. Hit the hole really hard. I'd like to see him put his foot down and go just like that. It was awesome.
And the referee's on the field just had timeout for an injured player, and
Dante Powell.
Yeah, Dante Powell walking off there. 300-pound junior.
That's tough. He's one of their good ones there, and hopefully he'll be all right.
And hopefully he'll be okay, because aside just from the health concerns, if considering how great Gonzaga Prep's defensive line is, if you're having to go for second string offensive line, that makes it even harder.
Oh, yeah, but, Richland has a lot of depth, so, I think they're going to be okay in that aspect. You just want any young man to not be hurt and get up and be able to come back in and play.
So hope he's fine. They're going to try to help him up here, and it looks like he'll be able to get up.
And definitely Dante is one of the anchors of their line. They like to run around him, or run behind him a lot. So without him in there, it's definitely going to hurt them. But look for Coach Jelnick and Nyhold and those guys to somehow counter off of that.
Well, Neidhold and the trainers now they're looking at his right leg is what it looks like, and you can see the camera shot there.
Looks like it might be a knee. You hate to speculate anything, so hopefully he just got it a little tweaked and he'll get up and be ready to go again.
What's your protocol? You're always more safe than sorry, right? Take as much time as you need.
Absolutely. He's got those nice knee braces on, so hopefully that helped eliminate some of the force that happens when you're playing the line. So, take as much time. Make sure he's healthy. It's all about the player.
And he's up. Going to need a little bit of help getting to the sideline, but the good news is he'll get off just fine, which is good news for Dante and the Powell family.
Yeah, absolutely. Toughest part for him right now, even if it is just tweaked with it being so cold out here, it's going to, he's going to have to do his best to keep it loose and warmed up.
Right. Well, now it's even tougher for Richland because now it's third down at about 3 yards against this tough G-Prep defense, trying to keep the drive alive. Paxton over the middle to Griffey March, and he shot high. Fourth down.
Looked like they had a corner blitz on it. I thought Paxton saw it at first, but then he went away from the read. So must have saw something else that it was there. Just overthrew his guy.
So both teams with drives here to begin the third quarter that end up without any points. 15-9 was their halftime score, and it still is here in Pasco. Nice big student section for Richland, G-Prep. Pretty respectable crowd. Got to tell you, I was up in Spokane this morning making the drive down myself, Coach, and freezing fog all the way. I got to admire anyone who made the drive down here today.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure there's a lot of proud people that want to come watch this game, though.
Bomber bounce down to the 14-yard line. Very nicely done. So now G-Prep, after pretty good field position on their last drive, they got to take it from their own 14. Long field to go for the Bullpups.
Yeah, hopefully Richland could get a good stop here and force them to punt and get good field position, turn the tide. I know G-Prep, on the other hand, is going to try to trade the field position here and get some first downs.
Well, their option offense, and until they stopped them on a big third down because of a penalty, they were moving the ball down the field very easily, it looked like.
Yeah, I'm not sure anything comes easy against Richland. They're playing tough and they're playing well.
I shouldn't say easily, I should say effectively.
Yeah.
First down and 10. Liam Bell on the pitch. This is Please. And Griffey March throws him out of bounds. Man, Griffey, what a great tackle.
Outstanding play by Griffey. Bounced off his block and made his play. Good job of that guy.
Good thing not to get tied up there by the receiver, Dylan Culp. Very nice.
I know Griffey ain't that big, but, man, he plays like he's 6'4".
5'8", but like you said, Coach, plays a lot bigger. Second and 10. Please, once again, didn't get the first down, but he's across the 20. It's going to bring up third down and maybe 3 yards.
Bringing old Evan back in, so look for them to go right up the middle again.
Yep, here comes Weaver, and out goes Please. They know when to use which running back.
Third down, 3 yards to go for Gonzaga Prep.
So Richland stopped them on third down last drive, trying to do the same thing here. They're going to mark it third down and about 3 yards. Again in that pistol, they send Gross. Oh, they botched that play, and that's going to be a sack. Did Bell think it was a different play? That's what it looked like, Coach.
That looked weird all around. It looked like the motion guy was a little off, and they're having a discussion about it right now. So
let's take a look one more time. Either Weaver or Bell had a different play in mind, I think.
Absolutely. Either way, big break for Richland. Hopefully they can do something with it right now.
Big break, a loss of 1, bringing up 4th down. And Griffey March back at his own 45-yard line. And G-Prep to punt it away. Slow snap. Here's March.
Good punt.
From the 40. Dragged down the 44-yard line. Good field position for Richland.
Great pursuit by G-Prep there.
Well, we're going to take a timeout here on SWX midway through the 3rd quarter. And Richland with a touchdown can tie the game. We'll see if they can after this on SW. High school football on SWX is brought to you by Catholic Regional Medical Center, serving your injuries and ailments from primary care to emergency care in Pasco, Kennewick, and Richland. Growing to meet your healthcare needs, visit catholic.org and find medical services in areas convenient to you. Well, good news for Richland. We saw Dante Powell taken off the field on an injury. It looked like it was his right leg, but coach, you see him there. He's back in.
Very good news. You always like to see him get back on the field.
So a new 1st and 10 for the Bombers. They stopped G-Prep on a 3rd and 3. So now they get it back and they go to the safety blanket. Little pass off to Griffey March. Griffey shakes 3 or 4 defenders and he's got the 1st down.
Again, that's just another one of those read option plays where I think it was a run call because you see the lineman kind of taking the run blocks, and then he pulls it and throws it on the bubble screen at the last minute because he has the numbers outside. So great job by Paxton. Great call by the Richland offense.
Led the league in receiving this year and last year. And now Lakota Wills in the backfield as the running back for the Bombers. New 1st down. And here goes Lakota. Flag comes in and maybe got 1-yard gain. See what the flag's on, though. That came from the defensive side.
Probably going to be a holding call.
Penalty flag on the play.
During the run, holding, offense number 77. That's a 10-yard penalty from the final foul. It's still 1st down.
Hunter Grade that time.
Yeah, tough break there, but, you got 1st down, so Richland's job now is to get about 7 or 8 back here and chip away at it.
That was the right call.
Yeah, you got his end around the backside there. It's, it's tough. There's holding probably every play, so as a head coach, I always hate seeing that called.
1st down and 20 yards. Now from their own 45-yard line. Wills in the backfield, and they'll give it to him. Got up to the 50-yard line, maybe 5 yards. So now looking at 2nd down and about 15.
Yeah, I'm just chipping away right now, just trying to get this reasonable here. You're going to have a 2nd and 15. Hopefully this next play you can get it within a reasonable 3rd down situation. So
Brecken Gallagher just went to the sideline. Ryan Wolski came back in, so a smaller look, more wide receivers for this play.
We're going to spread it out here and, like I said, try to get about 10 yards here.
Chapman, March, and Levin on the bottom of your screen. 3 wide out look. Flag on the play. And they'll blow it dead.
Another low snap at the beginning. Great job of Paxton to pick it up, but blew the play dead.
Ball start, offense, number 76. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
And they undo the progress they just made.
Yeah, mistakes. They'll cost you. And in these big games, that's just tough, especially when you're playing a tough defense in G-Prep. You can't be losing yards on mental mistakes like that.
Second and 15. Stevens. Big pressure already. He was going for Chapman and overshot him. So now 3rd down and a mile.
Yeah, G-Prep's getting a lot of pressure on him and forcing Paxton to throw a little sooner than he wants to throw. He's going to have to find a way to calm his nerves down a little bit and just hold on to it for the last minute.
Forcing pressure that time was Josh Condon around the outside. So now 3rd down and 20 for Paxton Stevens. They've had some deep passes today. Griffey March, Ryan Wolski, Rhett Levin, Alex Chapman. What can they do on 3rd and 20?
First screen or draw here.
Reverse, March. Is he going to throw? Griffey March throws, nearly intercepted. That could have been bad.
We got a flag.
Yeah, but a flag coming in.
Looks like it might be a late hit.
Well, that would certainly help the Bombers.
Penalty flag at the end of the play.
Well-designed play. Just unfortunately, we fumbled the handoff there and threw everything off.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Late hit in the head. With a forward step to the defense. It's a 15-yard penalty, and it includes an automatic first down.
Wow.
Saving grace from on high.
Yeah.
Nearly intercepted, nearly fumbled away, and they get a new first down.
Like we talked about earlier, costly mistakes. You can't be making those things in these games. But when you're playing as fast and as hard as each team is playing, those are, it's hard to tell a guy to not play as hard as that. So it's a tough break.
New first down and 10 for the Bombers. Can't waste this new opportunity.
Absolutely. They need to take advantage of this right now.
Stevens and Wills in the backfield.
Official timeout.
And a timeout on the field. Referee's talking to the coaches about it. I'm not sure they agree. That's Dave McKenna there, the head coach.
I've been there and done that. He's not too happy right now. Hey, both these coaches are passionate about what they do, as all coaches are doing.
Yeah, no timeout called. All right, we'll do this again. New first and 10. G-Prep looks a little bit caught off guard here on defense as they run back to their positions. First and 10. Lakota Wills takes the handoff to the 40. Gets ahead for 2-3 yards.
Look for Paxton to do that same play here coming up and actually pulling it, because they're really not respecting him with the run right now. So if Paxton makes that read, he could be running for a while.
And we know that he can run. 4 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Touchdown ties the game for the Bombers. The PAT would give him the lead. Another 4 wide out look. Paxton again, that slant route over the middle to Chapman and incomplete. They like that route over the middle. They've been running it a lot.
They do, that quick slant there. It was a good ball. Just fortunately didn't hang on to it.
So now third down and 9 yards off the hands of Chapman, just a little bit low.
It is good to see Chapman back out there. He took the big hit at in the first half, so
right.
Good to see him back out there.
So what can Stevens draw up? Another low snap. That's Chapman. They went to him again. He bounces off a defender and gets the first down.
Great individual effort by Chapman there to make a guy miss and lunge for that first down. Excellent job.
And how about the trust from both Stevens and Mike Neidhold to go to him after he just dropped one?
I mean, that's awesome. That says a lot about him, says a lot about the coaches and their trust in those guys.
Looks like he'll be taken down for maybe a 1 yard gain, but there he just bounces right off him.
All that hard work pays off.
So a new first down now for Richland. Taking it from the 28 of the Bullpups. This is Kyle Whitby. And drop for a loss, but flags coming in.
Great play by Evan there. Just shed the block and made a good tackle.
Kyle Whitby with the carry for the Bombers.
So let's see what these flags are about.
Taj Ford with the stop for the Bullpups.
During the run, holding, offense number 77. 10 yards from the front of the foul. Repeat, first down.
Couple of flags on this drive. Coming back to bite them.
I believe that was the second one. That's tough, but they overcame one already, so hopefully they can do it again here.
They did.
And Gonzaga's going to do everything they can to bounce back from the last one they did.
First and just more than 20 yards. That's Whitby in the backfield. Stevens the QB. Another bad snap. And that's an ineligible receiver, but nice catch.
That's a penalty. He didn't know what to do.
No, in on the illegal catch was Hunter Braveneck that time. He made the catch and looked at it like, what? Did I just make that catch?
They're not used to catching those balls, but hey, he made a nice catch on it.
Yeah, good hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'll move him back even farther.
Toss a pass. That's an illegal touching foul. 5-yard penalty from the spot of the catch, and that includes a loss of down. It'll be second down.
It's a big penalty.
Second down and a long way is what we'll say.
Again, he's having trouble with the snap.
Oh, that was Weaver again. He's everywhere.
Absolutely. It's tough, though, for Paxton to get that ball at his feet every time and then try to make a read, and you got Evan in your face. You're asking a lot from a young man.
They're back on the 48, and they have to get down to the 18. Whitby out of the backfield.
Great play out there.
Well, they got saved on this drive earlier with that big penalty, but it looks like it's going to end up being a punt after this third down and very long.
Yeah, there's not too many 3rd and 30 play calls you got in your book there.
No.
So it'll be look for some kind of screen or draw, like we said last time, or maybe even some trickery. They tried it last time.
Yeah, you see Weaver again. He's been exceptional today. Been exceptional every game, really, this year. Third down and 27. Here we go. Stevens. Tipped. Lucky that wasn't picked. That'll bring up fourth down and a punt.
Like I said, there's not much you can do when it's 3rd and forever like that. So
Now, Paxton's got an arm, but you don't want to risk it.
yeah, sometimes you might tell your guy to just throw it deep and throw it far, and if they pick it off, it's as good as a punt anyway. So, but in that one, they played it safe. Now they're going to try to punt him and pin him down and keep the field position in their favor.
Ryan Wolski on the punt for the Bombers. Ryan Gross to receive for the Bullpups.
Wolski back to kick for Richland. And Gross to receive for G-Prep. There's a good leg from Wolski. Can they get to it? It looks like they did it the 1. Adam Weisenfels.
Outstanding play right there.
If that had taken a higher hop, that might have not worked. So Weisenfels touches it down. It looks like the 1 yard line. So now G-Prep in the shadow of their own goalposts.
And that's why you practice special teams. There's 3 phases of this game, and I'm sure they practice that a lot, as most teams do. So very good job by their special teams there to pin them back.
So you got to think G-Prep here, maybe a short pass, but you got to think Weaver's going to be their go-to guy. And there is Weaver in the backfield, their big boy.
Yeah, the option's a little scary here.
Yeah, don't want to try running that in the end zone necessarily. Bell, hands off, Weaver. Down at the 1. Good stop up front by Richland. Here's how they got there. Weisenfels, excellent.
That's outstanding. Exactly how you draw it up right there. Huh?
Evan Weaver with the carry for the Bullpups.
So Weaver got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a half yard. Still second down and 10. Bell from the pistol in his own end zone. Play action, they're going to try throwing. Johnson overshot him.
Liam Bell's pass is
Good play call.
intended for
Just
number
overthrew him a
33.
little bit. He had a lot of guys in his face, but I'm really impressed with this Liam kid, and he can throw the ball.
Now, Coach, if I'm not mistaken, that play actually worked in the first half. The play action to Johnson on the streak.
Yeah, absolutely. Richland did a good job of being there. Had to take an absolute perfect ball. But like I said, he's thrown the ball real well.
So now 3rd and 10. That is Weaver in the backfield. The pitch. Oh, this might be 2, and it is! Johnson taken down. Griffey March in on the tackle, and it's a safety.
All right, they got their 2 points back now.
Charles Lookabill in that one as well.
Like we said, it's always tough to run that option out on the goal line like that. But, sometimes you got these big risks and big rewards. And
You warned him, Coach. You warned him.
that's tough. But, hey, that's what they've been doing all their season, so they know their team better than I do. And unfortunately for Richland, it worked out in their favor.
Well, that is exactly the momentum they need. And you see Mike Neidhold there. He is a very good coach, I would think, of trying to get you pumped up, right?
Oh, yeah, he's a wiry guy. He's a really, really good guy to the other coaches in this league. We have nothing but good things to say about him. Obviously, when we're playing him, we want to beat him just as bad as we play anybody. But he's a good guy, and his staff. His staff are excellent people as well.
So Gonzaga Prep had a 15-9 lead at halftime, and here in the second half, it took us a long time to get some second half points, but now both teams have a safety today.
Yes, you know, it's a funny game sometimes. So semifinal football right here, and it's win or go on.
Yeah, in case you're just joining us, winner of this game moves on to the Tacoma Dome to play the winner of Skyline in Lake Stevens, which is coming up tonight at 7 o'clock.
Jared Kutch to kick off for the Bullpups.
Either one of those teams is going to be a hard matchup. The Lake Stevens quarterback's going to play at Georgia next year.
Oh man, he's a stud. He's the real deal.
So Griffey March taking it from the 35. That's a lot of field for him to run with. Here goes March. Couldn't get to the outside. Instead makes it up to the opposing 45.
Great field position right now.
So now Richland with the momentum, unable to make anything happen on their last drive on offense. Had third down and I think about 30 yards to go. We'll see what they can do here with a new 1st and 10.
Yeah, you know, penalties were killing them on the last couple drives. So if they can eliminate those penalties, maybe they can punch us in. G-Prep needs to just dig in and do what they can to hold them out.
New 1st down and 10. That's Wills in the backfield. And they're going to give to him, but the G-Prep line was ready. Maybe a half-yard gain. I think he just got back to the line, though.
Wow, that was an absolute stick by Taj there. There's two big boys going at it, man, and good stick.
And now the clock ticking inside a minute to play here in this third quarter. Second and 10. Stevens pointing something out to the D-line. This is going to be March. How much can he do with it? Rather, it's Chapman, and Alex got about 6 yards out of it. Nicely done.
You know, that's such a tough ball to throw, and Paxton does a good job of leading it to the upfield shoulder and letting Griffey and Chapman catch that ball with some momentum going forward. So credit to him and make some great throws, even though they're just, you know, quick throws.
Rather, he got 5 yards and not 6. They'll mark the knee down just short. But that is going to be the end of the third quarter. And, man, what an interesting third quarter it was. A safety for the Richland Bombers gets 2 points for them, and they pull within 4. 15-11 is our score, and this is how it happened. High school football on SWX is brought to you by Ben Franklin Transit. Make your work commute easy and relaxing with Ben Franklin Transit's Van Pool program. A van pool is easy to get started. The gas, tires, and maintenance and insurance are all included in one low monthly fee. And van pooling can save you thousands of dollars a year. Call Ben Franklin Transit at 735-5100. Third down and 6 for the Richland Bombers. Down 4 points after a safety. What can Paxton Stevens do? It nearly gets intercepted as he threw for Alex Chapman. They were waiting for that play. Those linebackers were right there.
Yeah, they did a good job of showing blitz and bailing out at the last minute. So a little confusion by G-Prep there. Great call by them.
Those linebackers were waiting for it.
They were.
That's the play that's had the most success passing-wise, that short slant to Chapman or March.
Yeah, you know, and like I said, I'd like to see them try that on first down, maybe when they're not expecting it as much.
So Ryan Wolski to punt. And Gross back to receive from their own 10. It's a fake. Richland's not going to get it. Down at the 40. Close, though. If he'd been able to bounce to the outside, he would have had it.
Yeah, there's one guy from breaking it, but that one guy happened to be Evan there. Evan
Weaver.
Trying to get away from that guy. But I like the call. I like showing your faith in your guys, and you're trying to win a ball game as opposed to not lose one. So, you know, you got to admire the call by Nyhold.
And, you know, G-Prep, they weren't set up for a fake. They were just lucky that the Weaver was there, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a new 1st and 10 for Gonzaga Prep. A 4-point lead. And the pitch on the option, Please stopped for a loss of 1.
They got that option settled down now. You know, in the first half, G-Prep was eating them alive on it. So good job by the defensive coaches to make the adjustment. So it's going to be a battle.
You were saying right before the fourth quarter, Coach, you think this is going to come down to the last drive. You might be right. So Second down and about 12. Please again, and he's stopped by the whole team. Fumble, ball is loose. I think G-Prep has it.
Mason, please do the carry for the Bullpups.
Bullpups have it. Third down and right again, about 10 yards.
Got to have a big stop here on third down and hopefully get your offense back on the field. For G-Prep, they're going to have to find a way to throw this ball to get a first down now. It's not where they want to be, but I know they practice enough that they got confidence in it.
Richland has made a couple big third down stops today. 3rd and 9. Bell knocked down by Lakota Wills. That looks like a forward pass. The Bombers have it. The referees aren't ruling that ball dead.
I agree. I thought that was a forward pass.
Well, either way, great play for Richland. Hunter Braveneck has it. We'll take a look at the replay here in a second, but I thought that was a forward pass.
Yeah, bad break, but hey, you know, this is high school football. They don't have the luxury of replays here, so it's going to be called what is called on the field. Looks like they're having a discussion right now about it. Great job getting his hands up in the way of the ball either way.
There we go. You saw the replay, and the referees just told the crowd an incomplete forward pass is the ruling. Right call.
Yeah, I'm sure the Richland fans aren't going to be too happy about that. I'm sure Mike's not, but in the end, that was the right call. And they'll get the ball back here now and just have a little bit further they have to go on it now.
Yep, exactly. It's still going to be 4th down and 9 yards, and they'll still punt, and Griffey March will still receive. Yep, right call.
Richland's number 74, Brigham Whitby, is now wearing jersey number 78.
Good job by Richland, though, staying with it, and you never know.
So here comes the G-Prep punt. Griffey March hanging out back at the 30. Kutch to kick it away. Slow snap. High kick, only around the 45. G-Prep bounce. No, Richland coming back on it. 44-yard line. Not a bad field.
Good starting position for Richland here. See if they can do something with it.
And exactly 11 minutes to play in the season for one of these two teams. Winner moves on to the state championship at the Tacoma Dome to play the winner of Lake Stevens Skyline. Now, in case you're just joining us, Gonzaga Prep undefeated, 12-0 this season. Richland is 11-1. Their only loss came in week 1 to Gonzaga Prep. It was a 3-point game in week 1. G-Prep won 13-10. Richland on the wrong end here of a current 4-point game. Coach, we knew this would be close.
Absolutely. This is everything we were expecting.
This is Kyle Whitby on the handoff, stays upright to the 49, got 5 yards.
Yeah, I think Kyle gives him a little bit more of. He's a little smaller, but he's shiftier and I think a little quicker than Lakota is. So a good change of pace for Richland right now.
And the clock will run towards 10 minutes. That's Kyle. Hasn't gotten as many handoffs today as Lakota Wills, but the second half he's gotten some more, right?
Oh, absolutely. You know, like I said, Lakota's playing both ways, so he might be a little tired right now. But this is semifinals. You got to suck it up in this fourth quarter here.
2nd down and 5. They'll give it to Kyle again. Bounce into the outside. He's got the first down up to the 45.
Man, he's got a good burst when he sticks that foot in the ground.
And now the Bombers once again moving, but again, they've had a couple of these drives in the second half, Coach, where they've gotten good field position, maybe even near the red zone, and then got stopped or penalty killed them.
Yeah, you know, G-Prep's defense is tough, so you got to take advantage of these opportunities when you get good field position, and G-Prep has answered every snap so far.
Pups defense bending, not breaking. First down, Richland. Chapman. First down. Chapman to the 25. Leading the team in touchdown catches this year. See if he's able to haul one in maybe later.
Great play call there. Great blocking on the edge by his receivers. He just loves seeing his teammates block for each other out here. That's awesome.
The G-Prep defense is begging the refs for a call.
a little excess going on out there, but it's just guys playing hard. You know, this is fourth quarter of a semifinal game, and guys just blocking to the whistle.
Man, Chapman hitting the corner. Oh, and they're mad at Rhett Levin.
Yeah. A little excess, but hey, that's football, and that's what it's all about.
10 minutes left in the season.
Yeah, that's right.
Inside 10 minutes. New 1st and 10. Stevens, he finds Levin, and he's got a first down inside the 10.
Exactly what we're talking about. Open it up on first down, give them a nice easy pass to throw on first down. They love that slant route. Ball was thrown on the money. Great job by Paxton. Great call.
Threading the needle.
He's got a live arm, I'll tell you what.
First down and goal from the 9. Tayton Gillespie, the linebacker, in as a running back. Paxton, play action. To Levin. The referees will make the call.
Looked like he got in.
I think he got in. The referees are going to say just next to the goal line. I thought his foot was over, but I guess the ball is the marker, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got a better view than we do up here. But great throw by Paxton. Great play call. I really like what Richland's doing right now. They're really opening it up. Tough to stop when they're this dynamic.
Richland bringing Griffey March onto the field. Lakota Wills is the running back. So is Kyle Whitby. 2nd down and 1. Richland going for the lead. Kyle Whitby stopped at the 3. And the G Prep line holds.
I'd definitely find 89 out there, and I would run opposite him.
Don't go at Weaver. Don't even think about it.
Of course, they got some other guys on the other side that are pretty good as well. So
yeah, that was Connor McKenna that time.
Coach's kid, I believe, right?
Yes, sir.
3rd and goal for the Bombers from the Gonzaga Prep, 2-yard line.
Good-looking kid.
Like the hair.
Yeah. Wish I could grow mine out like that.
3rd down and goal from the 2. Bombers looking to take the lead. Here goes Kyle Whitby. At the goal line, the referees say, touchdown Richland.
Just a great run by Kyle Whitby. Wanting it more right now. Great call.
Touchdown Bombers. 2-point lead for Richland. And they lead for the first time today.
Yeah, it's just, hey, this is what it's all about. We got 8 more minutes left, a lot of time left. This game definitely is not over, but credit the Richland offensive staff for calling a great set of plays.
Now, Wolski did miss the one PAT he took in the first half. And this one is blocked by Weaver. So now it's a 2-point game, and the Richland coaches are yelling for some kind of penalty.
I think they're talking about leaping over or pushing down on the center here.
But there will be no flag. But look at Whitby, giving him the lead. Although I think Mike Neidhold probably not thrilled with the missed PAT, obviously, because now it's only a 2-point game. 3-point game is a whole different story.
Yeah, there's nothing more frustrating to a coach when you miss those 1 points.
And you see Neidhold out there talking to the refs.
He's hot about something. But like I said, 1 point in these kind of ball games are very crucial, and you hate to lose those and hate to lose them off the board.
That's the same difference between 2 and 3 and 6 and 7, you know?
Absolutely.
Because a field goal gives them the lead back, then you have to score again.
That's 2 extra points they miss. That puts them up, 4 as opposed to 3. So and now 2. So they're big.
And there's, of course, Weaver who broke through the line. Who else would it be?
Of course.
So here come the Bombers to kick it away. Back to receive for G Prep, Devin Colpin, Sam Lockett.
I do like how the refs let Mike say his piece out there. A lot of times they're too quick to tell us to be quiet. So, semifinals and good of that guy out there to listen and take everything in, because both coaches are passionate right now.
Good respect.
Absolutely.
So good field position this time for the Pups. Run back by Gross.
Now G-Prep's got to get on it, and you got 8 minutes now to try to drive it down and score. And
Well, both teams are going to have the ball back a few more times, I think.
yeah, it's going to be a back and forth here. This is fun.
This is exactly kind of what we thought this game would be. And it is not disappointed. 1st and 10 for G-Prep. Please is the running back. And he'll take it. Dives forward, got about 4 yards. Mason Please has been great today. Again, had 100 yards against Richland back in week 1. He's got to be getting over 50, somewhere between 50 and 100 probably today.
Oh, absolutely. He's, that front 5 by G-Prep are big, and they're getting a good push. But, the Richland guys are, they're holding the ground, and they're doing a great job.
2nd and 6. Johnson on the pitch. Can he get the corner? Close. About 2 yards short, 3rd down.
That option play again, that's tough. Lakota did a good job trying to get out there, but, it's tough for him to try to do both things there.
Always got to be watching out for Johnson in motion.
Absolutely.
Hard to catch. One of the track stars at G-Prep. 110-meter hurdles and the high jump.
Big down here.
3rd down and 2. Crucial play. Johnson in motion. They give to Weaver, and he's got the 1st down. Inside the 45.
Tell you what, when he gets going, he's a load, and he's pretty quick.
Kyle Whitby, 13 marks with the tackle for the Bombers.
And after all these run plays, you have to worry about a play action and Liam Bell going over the top. Multi-dimensional offense. Oh, speak of the devil.
You called it.
Going to Culp. Catch inside the 10.
That's just a great play call. They got on the ball, they hurried it up, caught Richland completely off guard. Great play call.
I did call it, didn't I?
Yeah, did.
There you go. Look at me. I'm like a regular Scott Biglin over here.
He might have to come down and call some plays for me next year.
Maybe. Great looking pass. So G-Prep 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. And this is Weaver up to the 7 and then stops short.
Evan Weaver with the carry for the Bullpups.
Got about 2 yards out of it that time. Bringing up 2nd down.
We got to clamp down now, and whoever wants more up front is going to win this one.
Second and goal. Bell on the keeper, trying to find the corner. Liam Bell stopped at the 2.
Liam Bell with
Alex Chapman going in with a shoulder on defense.
Great tackle by Chapman there to save that touchdown. Thought for sure he was getting in.
And the clock continues to wind all the while. Inside 6 minutes now.
3rd and goal for the Bullpups from the 2-yard
3rd
line.
down and goal from the 2. Weaver is in the backfield. Bell from the pistol. This is Weaver on the goal line. Touchdown Gonzaga Prep. And they take the lead.
Kind of knew where that was going.
It's going to be hard to stop him that time.
He's a hard to stop.
So now 21-17 is the score. And they'll go for the PAT, it looks like.
Looks like they're going for 2 here.
Oh, no, they're going to send the kicker back off. They had him on for a second. So Liam Bell, the quarterback, stays out there. They're going to go for 2.
4 or 5 lead, doesn't matter. They can get this to 6 right here.
That'd make a difference. On the pitch, Johnson has the speed, and he's in for the 2.
2-point conversion is good.
Well, the G-Prep fans on the far side are just loving it. And why wouldn't they? It is now a 6-point game.
Richland, 17.
And really, even if Richland scores, the odds are, based on what we've seen today, we have seen a missed kick and a blocked kick. So a touchdown does not equal 7 points today for Richland.
No, nothing is easy at this point in the season.
Well, we are headed for the final act from Pasco, folks. After a G-Prep touchdown, it is 23-17. Bombers coming back on offense, trying to tie or take the lead after this on SW. Well, this season might just come down to this for the Richland Bombers. Gonzaga Prep, a touchdown from their running back, Evan Weaver, now gives them a 23-17 lead. So now 5:37 on the clock for the Richland Bombers to see if they can tie or take the lead. It's a 6-point game, but again, Scott, both touchdowns they've scored, a missed PAT and a blocked PAT.
Yeah, you know, those, like I said, those 1 point could come back to haunt you, and you hate losing those things. But hey, now they got to focus on getting these 6 points and getting the extra point when that comes.
The best receiver in the conference, Griffey March, is back at the 5-yard line waiting for the kick. And here he comes from the 10. March finding a seam, and he's up to the 39-yard line. Great return as he has been executing all day.
Good field position here. So let's see what the Richland offense can do.
Well, the first half wasn't able to do much with it, but third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter, they've looked more effective than they have all day.
Yeah, you know, this is fun. This is exciting. I know these kids have pushed themselves all summer long, so this is what it comes down to, man, giving it everything you got.
Unless the Bombers can score here in the next couple of drives, their season will be over in the next 5.5 minutes of football. First down and 10 for Stevens. And this is Lakota Wills, the big boy, all 6'3" of him, and he fights his way forward for 3 yards.
You know, G-Prep has done a really nice job on Lakota and eliminating his rush yards. I know on us, he broke a couple long ones on us, so they've avoided that this game.
That's what everyone was wondering about this week building up. The Lakota Wills against the G-Prep defensive line. Big matchup. Second down and 6. Stevens has a little time. That same route to Chapman, and it's a first down for the Bombers, and he's into G-Prep territory.
That's a long throw you asked him passing to make, but that shows you how much faith they have in his arm and the strength that he has in it.
And you were right at the beginning of the game, Coach. You told me you didn't think that this weather and the cold 20 degrees would impact Paxton, and they haven't gone deep that much, but I'll tell you what, Paxton's looked pretty good regardless.
You know, from no quarterback, I hope he gets some looks for next year.
New first down for the Bombers. They give to Lakota, and he's stopped in the backfield for a loss.
Great job by G-Prep getting in there and disrupting that handoff.
Josh Condon took him down at the knees. And Jack Mactoff also in on the tackle. Mactoff, of course, the son of Mark Mactoff, who's the head coach of the Gonzaga baseball program. Gonzaga University, rather, not Gonzaga Prep. Second down and 12. 3-receiver look on the top side for the Bombers. They go again. He was going for Ryan Wolski. No flag coming in. That'll bring up third down and very long.
Again, another low snap. Great job by Paxton, composing himself, picking it up, and almost making a good throw.
And the snow starting to come down a little bit harder here at Edgar Brown.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't have effect on the ball right now.
It's 22 degrees in Pasco. Third down and 12 for Richland. Griffey March on the bottom of the screen.
Pressure.
Big pressure. Stevens threw it away. Is this 4-down territory?
Oh man, this is a tough call for Mike.
If it was a little less time, you would say yes, but yeah, it's almost 4 minutes. I mean, do you feel comfortable with your defense is the question.
Well, you know, they got the best defense in the MCC. You know, I might have to trust them here and punt that thing. And
Richland is going to take a timeout to decide.
I think that could answer your question there.
Yeah.
You're going to use a timeout now. You might as well draw up a good play and go for it.
And really, if they don't convert, you're not giving them incredible field position. They'll take it from just inside your side of the 50.
And you need a stop anyways.
But the thing is, like you've been noting pretty much all game, Scott, they've been completing passes, but not very many deep ones. I think the deepest was probably that first half pass to Ryan Wolski.
Yeah, so they're going to have to draw up some kind of, 14-yard play here and hope it converts for them.
Well, this is what this game has been all about. Gonzaga Prep undefeated. Richland lost in week 1 to Gonzaga Prep and went on an 11-game tear ever since. G-Prep entering this game ranked number 4 in the state. Richland ranked number 6. Winner moves on to the state championship game, and Scott, this one has been everything it's been built up to be.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's an exciting game. I'm glad you had me as a part of it.
Happy to have you.
It's been fun, and we still got 3 minutes left to see who's going to win this game.
4th down and 12 for Richland. Rhett Levin on the bottom of your screen. Griffey March in the slot. Lakota Wills in the backfield, likely to block. Stevens, pressure. Off the hands and incomplete. Is going for Rhett Levin and Griffey March. So now G-Prep takes it from the Richland side of the 50.
You know, it was a good play call. You know, looked like a guy was open, and then
They had some space.
They did. You know, but you tell your receivers to go for any ball that comes to you, and both guys were trying to go for it, and unfortunately, did not happen.
So now from the 49-yard line of the Richland Bombers, here comes Gonzaga Prep. They had to punt it away a couple times here in the second half, but they also did score a crucial touchdown and then converted on a 2-point.
Yeah, you got to put your claws in and dig in and hold them to 3 and out here.
This is the biggest defensive stand of the year for Richland, but it's not going to work that time as they give it off to Jake Tucker, who's a senior. That's the first time we've seen him take a handoff today. All the others have been to Please or Weaver.
Wow, that's big conversion for that guy if he hasn't ran the ball.
Yeah.
Big time to come in and run it.
First down, 10 yards to go. G-Prep from the Richland.
Time is not on Richland's side right now. They need to stop quick. Maybe some kind of turnover.
And I think you're probably wondering if that use of obviously you had to call a timeout to drop that play, but now they only have 2 left. Makes it a little bit harder.
Yeah.
On first and 10. Handoff to Weaver. Didn't get the first, but he was close.
And Weaver with a carry for the ball.
Yeah, actually for G-Prep, that might be a good thing for them.
Touchdown here probably puts the nail in the coffin.
Could seal it up.
For the Bombers.
So we'll see if the Richland defense can make this stand.
Second down.
They made a couple of big stands in the first half and one in the third quarter. Can they do it again here with 3 minutes left in their season? Weaver, unsurprisingly, the running back. Johnson to the left side, got to worry about that option. They give to Weaver, and oh man, he's got some space. Up to the 15-yard line, moving the chains. Richland defensive line having trouble this drive.
Yeah, that's the G-Prep line is starting to take control right now. When you got big Evan Weaver back there running it as hard as he's running, it's going to be tough to stop him.
Can't arm tackle him. Broke 2 tackles.
Now, this is where you find out what kind of heart you have right now. You know, they got to dig in and they got to make a stop here and hopefully get the ball back with a little bit of time.
No need to throw here. They're going to run. So Weaver, the running back, Johnson to the left side. Once again, they're in the middle of your screen. They'll move Johnson. They'll hand off to Weaver. He's still on his feet down to the 5-yard line. New first down, first and goal.
For the Bullpups.
He is a wrecking ball.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I'm going to bring in the big guys now to try to stop that power run.
Back into the game comes Dante Powell. He was taken off with
First and goal for
a brief injury, but came back on to begin the second half.
Yeah, it's good to see him back out there.
Okay, so what do we see? We see Weaver there and Bell, but a timeout on the field.
Timeout, Richland. That's their second charge timeout of the
And
second
Richland
half.
will burn their second timeout of the half. 1 remaining for the Bombers. Coach, how much does time management and knowing that G-Prep's a running team, how does that impact your decision on clock management?
Well, when the team can run the ball as well as they're running it, it takes a lot of strategy out of your hands, and you just got to hope that you, on first down, can get a good stop. And G-Prep has done a good job on first down, getting 7-8 yards, and it makes it just tough to hold them down.
And what you really do have to worry about here is, it's a 6-point game. Even if you just stop them on third down, they line up to kick a field goal. If you don't block that field goal, this game's done.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is they need some kind of turnover. You're going to see the first person wrapping legs up and the other person ripping at the ball. On the other side, you'll see G-Prep. I'm sure Evan there going to be holding on the ball as tight as he possibly can. I wouldn't see this going to anybody else but number 89.
New first down and goal from the 6 for the Bullpups. That is Weaver, flanked to the right of Liam Bell. There's Weaver. Stopped short at the 2.
Evan Weaver.
Maybe down at the 3, depending on the knee where that was marked.
That'd be Richland's last time out.
And Richland just burned their final timeout.
Their third and final timeout of the second half. They have no more timeouts remaining.
But they have a little bit of time. 1:46.
The game clock to 1:48.
Referee's now saying they want to mark it at 1:48. And the thing about high school is there's a 25-second play clock. So really, assuming G-Prep is milking this clock, if Richland is able to maybe block a 4th down kick or something, they're going to have very little time.
Very little time, because you'll see G-Prep try to get up as slow as they possibly can, and hopefully don't start the clock until 20 seconds run off the clock. So Richland needs some kind of turnover right here. Unfortunately, it's just they need something to happen here.
So Coach McKenna talking to his squad, and there you see Mike Neidhold. 8th-year head coach of Richland, trying to get him back to the state championship. Proud program, hasn't been there in a couple of years.
Yeah, a lot of tradition there, and just a lot of good football.
So here comes Gonzaga Prep. They have 1 minute and 48 seconds and 3 downs to make it 2 yards. A touchdown here would likely seal it up and send G-Prep to the state championship. That's Weaver. Touchdown Bullpups. And that might be the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, they just kept running the same play out the right side there. They got some big boys up front, and all the credit to them for making a hole for Evan.
Cal Golden Bears gonna love having that kid next year because, man, between all his points last week against Woodinville and everything he has done today, blocked the kick, he's run a couple touchdowns in, he has been unstoppable.
Yeah, he's been a workhorse, and if he's not tired at the end of this game, I'm sure he will be tomorrow.
So 29-17 is our score. And they're calling a timeout because they could very well likely be drawing up a 2-point conversion to make it a 14-point game instead of a 12-point game. They're worried, of course, about Richland throwing a bomb, catching a touchdown, then going for the onside kick.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach McKenna has his chart over there, when to go for 2, when to go for 1, and his chart probably tells him he needs to go for 2 right here to make it a 14-point game.
So the Richland Bombers defense, as incredible as they have been on a lot of third downs in big play situations in a lot of this game, this last drive was all G-Prep's line.
Yeah, they just wanted more. They stuck their feet in the ground and had a lot of heart and made some holes up for Evan there.
And they will go for it. Weaver behind Bell. Johnson in motion. That's a play-action pass, and it's caught by Gross. He had the first half touchdown catch, and that makes it a 14-point game, 31-17.
Just a well-designed play. It's tough to defend. They got so many options.
So you have to worry about Weaver, then you have to worry about the pitch, and then you throw.
Yeah, you got to back out. That's tough. That's very tough.
So G-Prep looks to have this one in the bag, but you can't count the Bombers out yet. 1:45 to play.
I've seen funnier things happen, so we'll watch it till the end. You never know. When you got 3 back there returning this, anything can happen. He's a special player, so.
So what do the Bombers have up their sleeve? Their season hanging in the balance.
Jared cuts to kick off for the Bullpups.
Cuts to kick it away.
Back deep for the Bombers.
High kick. And Richland able to make a sliding catch. That was risky. Nicely hauled in that time by Braden Powell, rather. Okay, so Richland not not bad field position. Pretty good, around the 45.
I'm sure they've worked their 2-minute offense here, and they're going to need to score and score quick. So you're going to see Paxton take some shots down the field now, and receivers getting out of bounds whenever they can.
So look for Griffey March, Ryan Wolski, Alex Chapman, or Rhett Levin. I doubt we're going to see any runs to Lakota Wills. He's in there to block. 1:42 to play on first down. Stevens comes to Chapman, got to get out of bounds. Only a gain of 2.
Paxton Stevens pass is complete to number 8.
Yeah, they're going to need to take some shots here, and
Gonna have to go downfield. They really haven't done it much today.
yeah, you got to take your chances here. You're down 14 with a minute and a half left. You got to take a shot and let one of your playmakers make a play.
You got Wolski, who's 6'1". He's the candidate for a fade, but March and Chapman are 5'8" and 5'9", but very fast. Comes near side. He's got Wolski. Short of a first down by 2 yards.
Paxton did a nice job of climbing the pocket there and stepping around his defender and throwing a strike.
So third down and, yep, just about 2 yards for the Bombers. 91 seconds left in their season if they don't score a couple of touchdowns.
9-yard line.
Oh, fumbled, and that'll do it. And who else would fall on it but Evan Weaver? And that is going to send the Gonzaga Prep Bullpups on that's going to send them on to the state championship game. That'll do it.
That's a tough break for Richland there. But, hats off to G Prep there. They earned this victory, and best of luck to them next week.
Well, I'll tell you what, this was every bit the game we were told it was going to be in the lead up. So now Gonzaga Prep, a couple of handoffs, and then victory formation.
Yeah, some extracurricular going on out there. The last thing you'd want to see is a G Prep guy get thrown out of this game and not be able to play in the game next week. So they got to keep their heads cool and, get ready to move on till next week. And hats off to Richland, man. They are a phenomenal football team. They played their hearts out here, and, nothing but good things to say about them. They got a lot of good ahead of them. They got a good young class.
So Liam Bell will already go into victory formation, and that'll end this one because, again, the Richland Bombers, they ran out of timeouts on their previous drive. They used 3 all here in the fourth quarter. So, Coach, with this one essentially in the bag, I think we got to give our MVP to Evan Weaver, right?
Oh, definitely. The guy was all over the place. Made tackles, was in Paxton Stevens' face most of the night. And, man, when we needed a play, he made it.
And they'll once again go to it. And they'll only have to take one more knee, it looks like. So Evan Weaver, we're going to call him our MVP, but man, who stood out to you on the Richland offense today, Coach?
I really like the way Kyle Whippy ran the ball when he did. He stuck his foot in there and made some good things. And then obviously Griffey March and Chapman, when they got those bubble screens, did some nice things. So they don't need to hang their heads low. They making it to the semifinals is never an easy task. So heck of a season by them.
And there go the Bullpups. You'll see them in Tacoma next weekend against the winner of Lake Stevens and Skyline. So you see Evan Weaver, he's number 1 in the handshake line, and that man certainly deserves it. What a game for these Bullpups. Your final score, 31-17. Gonzaga Prep moving on to the state championship game, and the number 6 Bombers fall in the Final Four. Well, this is a great one, folks. Stay tuned. We're coming back with the SWX postgame show, talking with some coaches and reliving this one right after this. Those are your Gonzaga Prep Bullpups. A 31-17 Final Four win today over the Richland Bombers in the 1 o'clock matchup here at Edgar Brown Stadium. And there you see him celebrating with the students that made the drive down today from Spokane in 20-degree weather. Man, they got to be happy about that. And Scott Bigland joining us on color commentary today. They earned it, but look at these Richland Bombers. A lot to be proud of. Tough game.
Absolutely. They got a lot to be proud of. Anytime you make it to the semifinals, it's a accomplishment in itself. And even though it hurts right now, they're going to look back on it and see how much of a special season this was for them.
Good news for them. They have got quite a few guys coming back. Alex Chapman, a junior, and, of course, Paxton Stevens, the quarterback, only a junior.
Oh, yeah, they got a lot of talent coming back, so they got a lot to look forward to. This will sting a little bit, but hopefully it fires them up a little bit.
Well, talking about this Gonzaga prep team, you said you watched the Lake Stevens quarterback the other day. He's going to play at Georgia next year. Skyline, it seems like they go to the state championship game every few years. I'll tell you what, though, this G-Prep team looks like a state championship contender.
Absolutely. Everything I saw today, they got good offense, good defense, and I look for them to do some good things next week.
Well, down to the sideline we go. We are joined by Dave McKenna, the head coach of the Gonzaga Prep Bullpups. And, Coach, congratulations on headed to the state championship game over in Tacoma, 31-17, the final today. Can we talk briefly about Evan Weaver? Tell us what you love most about this kid. He was unreal.
His motor. I mean, he's a pleasure to coach, and he brings a great energy to our team.
Well, coming up next, obviously, the winner of either the Skyline and Lake Stevens game. Do you know anything about either of those teams?
They're both very good. Skyline's got a very good running back, and obviously the kid from Lake Stevens can throw it really well. So we'll go watch tonight and see what they have. We'll bring them our best game.
Hey, go ahead, Scott. Tell me about Liam. I thought he threw the ball extremely well today, and tell me a little bit about him.
He's a great leader for us. He can really sling it for us, and when we need it, and he came through when we did. And Devin caught a big pass for us, and a couple 2-point conversions as well. Liam, he does a great job for us.
Well, thank you, Coach, and go celebrate with your team. And congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Well, that'll do it today from Edgar Brown Stadium. 31-17, the final. The Bullpups are moving on to the state championship in Richland. The season ends in the Final Four. Scott Bigland, thank you for joining us. Any quick final thoughts?
No, I just appreciate all you guys do, and this was a lot of fun for me. And to Richland and Mike, keep that up, and I know they're going to be back here next year.
Glad to have you, Scott. Well, that'll do it for high school football season, believe it or not, on SWX. That was fast. So for our great crew, the best in the Tri-Cities, including our star director, Mike Neubauer, our producers, Matt Funk and Jim Tippett, and, of course, our guest color commentator, Scott Bigland, head coach of the Kamaikan Braves, here with me in the booth. I'm Greg Talbot saying we'll see you for basketball season, which starts back here on Tuesday night on SWX.